Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Never Open Podcast, the podcast open to everyone, especially Yujiro Takahashi, because he's taking a fucking holiday. Woo! My name is Luke. I'm your host of the Never Open Podcast, and with me, as always, is Mr. Guy. Say hello, Mr. Andy.
Hello, Mr. Andy. Hello, Luke. Hello to the listeners, and hello to G1 34. It's time, Luke. We're back in tournament mode. It seems like it was only yesterday we were covering the New Japan Cup, and yet here we are 5 seconds later covering the G1 Climax 34. And I'm excited. We got some awesome stuff to talk about. They did that same thing that they did last year where there are a couple of shows in a row where it's just everybody's wrestling, only singles matches. So we're going to get lots of wrestling to talk about now and forever.
I thought you were going to go leave a pause and be like, never, I guess.
I mean, I don't always do that. But when I do, you're not expecting it. So,
but we are expecting David Finlay.
He's a very good wrestler.
Look, there is some news. I don't know when this happened. It was probably at the press conference or something. But Tanahashi is like eager to tell us that there's new members of the IWGP. You know, because it's important that we know who are the people in charge of this fictional governing body that decides who gets to fight who for titles and things. It's important, right? Like, I've never known since I started watching New Japan who's ever been in the IWGP ever before, ever. And now I know, I didn't even write everyone's names down, but now I know at least 3 people in it. 3! Whoa!
Liger, of course. Tiger Hattori, of course.
Of course.
Those two.
Yuji Nagata.
Right. That's like a voting block right there. You know, that's a power trio. You better watch out for those 3. They're going to be on the same page every time, you know. And hopefully Tanahashi runs again, you know, when his term comes up. We don't know. You know, some people want to run.
That's just like Tanahashi, though, like stacking the deck on the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
You know,
it's true.
So
but maybe for
it's any wonder President Evil's like trying to rise up.
Well, but it's important. There are checks and balances within that group because when Liger shows up drunk, Tiger Hattori may also be a little tipsy, but Yuji Nagata will be the voice of reason to be like, no, we're not going to, you know, paint all the ring posts purple this year, you know, or whatever dumb idea they come up when they're drunk. That was the best I could do.
Yeah, that's it. Liger wants the whole thing to look like it's in Liger mask colors or something.
He wants it's like you know, Twin Peaks at the very end where it's like, are we inside a dream? And all of a sudden Cooper's face is just over the entire screen. It's that, but we're inside drunk Liger, so it's just his mask, and then everything happens within the mask. It's very, very awful.
Can we get like Sho Mikado's? No, Murashima. Sorry, Katsuya Murashima's face to do something like that. That would be fucking amazing.
Every time he wrestles, anytime he's in the ring, it's just his face, like just lightly kind of shaded over the entire thing. Could pull that off somehow. I'd rather it be Chumpy, but you know, Murashima's new to the game. Let's give him something.
Yeah, give him a little something. So usually this is something I peruse and be like, "Hey, Mr. Guy, this is all you need to watch." But that's not how it happened. There was a press conference, and this time you're like, "Hey, Luke, there was a press conference, and this is all you need to watch." So there was a press conference.
Yeah, I mean, it was. So some of the highlights that we typically have, like ELP being funny, he's a bummed out character this year, and we'll talk about that as we get into his matches and stuff. You know, so that wasn't funny. You know, Zack Sabre Jr. got interrupted anyway by Gabe Kidd, who was kind of like the star of the show and is becoming the star of the G1 as well.
Yeah, yes. We'll talk about that much later. But I just so after I watched the Gabe Kidd promo, I was like, "Is there anything else cool?" I fast forwarded it to ELP, and he's just like moping. I was just like, "Oh man, I bet you even Chris Charlton's disappointed." And he was. He mentioned it, but
how could he not?
Loose lips sink Chris. Oh my god.
Luke, what do you think of the new theme song? We obviously, I mean, it's obvious it's not better than Max the Max. That's why we continued our tradition of using Max the Max as the theme song for the G1 Climax episodes. But what do you think of the new song? And what do you think of the like army of people that it took to make that song?
Too many chefs in the kitchen.
It's
Oh
like
my
a whole
goodness.
faction, you know.
Dude, you know they're gonna try and pull that off on the last night live, and I'm just like, dude, that sounds like the wrestling theme equivalent of Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, not necessarily in terms of quality, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but in terms of like, there's so many changes and different things going on that's like, how do you replicate that live? They're just gonna dance on, aren't they?
To just sing over the
That's
track
it. That's it.
basically. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's like a punk rock song, but then it's rap, like rap rock new metal. Then it's punk rock again. Then it like turns into a song you'd hear in a musical, and then it's like an anime theme. So it's like all that stuff wrapped up in one. And what I love about it is that it is not hanging around for long. So it's like 5 seconds of each of those things. It's like,
Oh yeah.
They like switch it up so fast that I'm just like, this song keeps you on your toes. It's not better.
No, I feel like everyone who made this song has ADHD, and I'm not allowed to say that because I'm a huge one. Don't know what that means, but I am.
The amount of people that it took to make the song also fills the entire wrestling ring, because they did a photo shoot in the ring, It's like 100 people. It's like,
dude,
what did they do? What did each of them do? I don't want to know, but I did wonder,
Like, it doesn't have the punchiness of Max to Max, which sticks to a genre for most of its runtime. And it has real muscle live and fighting with a real sword.
Yes. Yeah. Now, there is one little thing I don't know if you've noticed, is that when they do the theme song, like in the intro to the actual show, they will have some of the words flash up on the screen. And one of the words that flashes up on the screen is literally, it reads F word. Not fuck. It says F word up there, which I find very amusing. That was great.
I find that very amusing too. Where we saw many an F bomb dropped over these 2 nights that we're going to talk about, but you can't write the word fuck. No,
that's very silly. But Luke, both these shows took place at the Osaka Edion Arena, and this is notoriously one of the hottest crowds that New Japan has, maybe the hottest crowd, so I think Osaka Joe Hall is usually like the absolute best that you can get from the Osaka crowd. But we have 2 nights to talk about. The crowd was different on each night, and we'll talk about that.
Yes, we will. There we go. I didn't expect that. It's like Finley just not showing, you wouldn't expect that. You always expect it. But before we do that, there are ways that people can contact and interact with us if they wish to. Late stage professionalism. Woo! We're on the Tweety. I am at Grumpy2EB. So if you like lots of Doctor Who shit, like, I guess follow me. Mr. Guy is at Drizzle Tweets, where he fucking shreds on the guitar. He'll deny it, but he's shredding. He's shredding something.
Play slowly and methodically, and deliberately.
Yeah, it's a slow shred. He likes the longer slices of cheese on the shredder rather than the shorter ones.
Yeah,
you can either do a quick, or go long.
Yeah, I like shaved cheese quite a bit. It's very good.
Yeah, get a block of cheese grater. There we go. Yes, but hey, if you want to talk to us about how great it is to hear and watch me talk about grading, you can do that too. Send me a written voice email, NeverOpenPod@gmail.com. If you've got any of that. Sasha Banks money, send it that way. We got a Teespring store. We can buy merch that'll make you look never as fuck. Also, we're on the YouTube Never Open Podcast. Hey, you're all listening to us apparently. No one's watching us. Now I'm feeling ugly. So give us a fucking watch on YouTube. Oh, I've got no self-esteem. Validate me.
Welcome to our new listeners that just, hey, thanks for listening, whoever you are.
So, yeah. What's this hot new podcast? Oh, they've been here for 4 years.
Okay.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. Now, Luke, we both watched these at different times. I watched the first night live. You did not, but then we watched the second night live together, which was fun. we did have Walker, Texas Tour, and Chris on the call, and I was really happy to hear them. And I didn't get very far before I had to switch to Japanese commentary. And listen, we're not here to rag on those guys. We're not here to rag on people. I really like both of them. In particular, Walker, I think his work is great. But like Chris just can't stop predicting things and patting himself on the back for knowing finishes and shit like that. And I can't do it. I can't do it.
So I don't know if you... I can't remember if you wrote to me that said you were doing that, but I remember watching this night, and after the second match, I was like, "All right, I think I want to switch over because, and I guess we'll talk about it." But yeah, I like them too. I like Chris, despite people probably having heard us make fun of him a lot. We do like him. He just does little things that annoy us, and we get annoyed at stuff.
Well, to be fair, I make fun of you a lot, and you make fun of me a lot. So
yeah, actually, when we like stuff, we make fun. We just
our
make
love
fun of shit,
language, folks.
Yeah, if we're not making fun of you, you're fucking nothing.
That's right.
But I don't like being spoiled on my wrestling, so I switch to Japanese.
Yeah, that's a good call. Well, Luke, tell us about the first match.
All right, man. Here we go. It is the G1 Climax 34 Night 1. We start with B block action, and we start with Bolton Oleg and Ren Rita. Bolton Oleg has... I love how he comes out because he has new music and new gear. And you're like, wow, that looks cool. He must be so pumped. Then you look at his eyes, and he's like fucking terrified. Like I'm sure he's not terrified about the actual like doing the wrestling part of it, but I'm thinking like, fuck, I'm at the G1. Oh my god, like that kind of like.
Are they gonna like this new gimmick? Am I gonna get roasted? You know, because it's he's got like a giant fur hat on. It looks like it's a snow leopard hat apparently, and I guess that's what bars means, and that's what's on all of his shirts and stuff. I just thought it meant he could rap, but it turns out that no, it's because he, likes snow leopards or something. But the powder blue trunks was interesting. And I don't know. I dig it. We've been asking for this forever. My problem is no singlet. Why not a singlet? Just saying.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity for singlet. Who wears a singlet in New Japan? Evil? That's it, right? So, I mean,
Jeff Cobb.
Jeff Cobb, there you go. I mean, there's like maybe 1/3 that we're forgetting. So it's like, there's room for singlets in New Japan.
That's it. It's a niche that needs to be filled. Come on, Bolton Oleg. Ren starts the match by throwing his jacket at Oleg right in his face. And it doesn't last long before Oleg just fucks him up. There's even an early "you can't" attempt, but no. Ren White rails? No, he wails on him on the outside. Then Ren just was like, let's do it in the ring now. What are you doing, Ren? You're in House of Torture. And I'm watching this match thinking like, all right, Evil will have Togo. Mind you, does Togo only get paid to come out once? He can't. Anyway. All right, I'm thinking like, all right, Yujiro's just around the corner, right? Kanemaru, maybe. Yeah, Sho deserves a bit of a break. Yeah.
He got his ass kicked a lot recently.
A lot, right? So. I mean, Kanemaru did too, but I feel like Sho did like even more, got his ass kicked because, champion and all that kind of stuff. So I'm expecting something like that. But no, this is one of those rare matches for a House of Torture member where the person has to do the whole fucking match by themselves. I'm like, oh, holy shit. What a novelty. But Oleg rolls Ren through for like a gut wrench, but Ren almost turns it into an armbar as well. Oleg, he makes the ropes. Ren refuses to get gut wrenched, though. It's fucking funny. That happens quite a lot. That's the one thing he's like, nah. Every time he can shut that down. But what he can't shut down, you can't shut down. You might be able to sneak out of some moves, but you can't sneak out of power. Not every time. Not every fucking time. And I guess they want to start this with a bang. I want to start this with a surprise. Oleg hits a gnarly looking F5. Was it F4? Whatever. It's F5. Fucking
F
Look,
bars.
F bars. That's it.
F
And
word bars. That's what it is.
and usually like an Oleg, dude, you can't is just like half of a Kenny Omega transitional move. Do the F5, man.
Yeah.
Do the F5. That was fucking great. Stop there. Roll credits. But no, Pix ran up. You can't, which he calls the kamikaze, but we're just going to call it the you can't because that's what it is. And Boltin Oleg has 2 points while Ren has 0 points.
Yeah, the crowd was fired up too. They were happy for Boltin Oleg's new gimmick. They were happy seeing House of Torture lose. And after the match, Luke, Tanahashi, the president, fucking gets on Twitter and thinks, oh, what's a good way to like congratulate Boltin Oleg for winning this match. I mean, he beat me, we've been partners and stuff, and he just thumb up emoji. That's just a giant middle finger is what that is. So.
I think Tanahashi's a little salty in kayfabe, that he doesn't get to wrestle in the G1.
Dude.
In real life, he's probably like, bitches, I'm fucking president and my knees hurt. I need a fucking month off. Shut the fuck up. And I'm like, yeah fair enough.
Thumbs up, bro. Like, what a dick. I thought that was funny. So next, Luke, we will alternate from block to block. This next match will be A block, and then the next match, B block, respectively, as we go forward. But this next match shows us a little pattern that happens on this first night here, especially in this first 2 matches. Boltin Oleg won the play-in tournament, his side to get in. Callum Newman won the play-in tournament, and he's going to face Shota Umino, a guy he could never beat. And so Newman now is Will Ospreay Jr. He has I Am Will Ospreay gear on, and he has a tremendous United Empire flag that would make, I mean, it puts, TJP's flag to shame. It's almost as good as Great Khan's flag. It's pretty great.
My first note right here is Callum knows what a cool fucking flag looks like.
Yeah. So he's actually carrying the flag instead of painting it black like Evil would do. But, so we get so there's a really long Prince of Pace spot at the beginning, and Shota trips Newman on the drop down. He trips on the drop down, but regains his balance and hits some moves. And Shota's almost as fast as Newman. And it's like, that's kind of the point of that little thing right there. It was great. Oh, yeah. So Newman grabs Shota Umino, and the crowd is confused. They want to cheer for Callum Newman, but that's asshole shit. Why are you doing that?
That's a heel move to do that on someone who's relatively new back from excursion.
Like, you're a good guy, and we love Shota Umino. Yeah, so they're kind of confused a little, but this is an evenly contested match for most of it. There's an STF from Shota for a rope break spot. They struggle on the ropes a little bit, both going for tornado DDTs, but it's just move for move. This is before I had switched to Japanese commentary, and Chris Charlton starts making shit up right here. He says, Shota Umino is off a step tonight, and that might be his story during the tournament. He says that. No, he isn't. What? So Shota hits a cutter to foil an Os cutter attempt from Newman. That was really cool. Big strikes from both guys. Spanish fly for 2 from Newman. And then Newman hits a bunch of offense and then wins with the Os cutter. Newman wins. So did Boltin Oleg. The 2 play-in guys got some points right off the bat. Might be the last points they get for the rest of the tournament. Yeah. And Shota Umino is on 0 points. Newman's on 2 to start things off.
It's a pretty good win for both dudes anyway. So, no real complaints there. All right. So I'm pretty sure this is the match I'm watching, where as I'm watching it, and this will be the last comment of English commentary I make, because Chris says, "Oh, it's the first night of the G1. Anything can happen. In fact, guys like this could even beat top guys." And I'm like, what? Dude, that's something 2 dickheads on a podcast say. You don't say that
top guys.
You don't say that on a fucking... You don't say that on... we all know that's part of the fun of like an opening night, that like you're going to get a couple crazy finishes. You don't say that. Like, it's like... And then 2 minutes later, if that, Callum Newman wins with the Oz cutter. I'm like, motherfucker, what's the next match? It'll be Hanare? Yeah, I'm turning the fucking English off, and that sucks because like I want to hear it, but I can.
Well,
You know what I would do if I had Chris Charlton's smartphone, Walker Stewart's smartphone, even though he doesn't really do it that often, and New Japan Global's like accounts. I would go in there and I'd block Chris Schmamschmer. No offense to Chris Schmamschmer. I like what you do, dude. But when they read the stats out loud, a lot of the time it makes me go, "Oh, that's what's happening," and it fucking does.
It's like Chris Charlton uses that as evidence towards whatever point he's trying to make, and it's like, why are you trying to make a point at all? Why don't you just tell us what happens? Like, tell us that. Don't tell us what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So I switched to the Japanese, and that's what I did for the whole rest of the 2 nights. Which I'm sure I don't know if you did it for night 2, but I
like it better. You know, it makes my brain work more. I got to pay attention more to what's going on, and it's up to me to figure out what it is. It's not getting spoon fed to me, which is why I hate American wrestling, because they're just like constantly here you go, little guy. Here's the story, you know, and it's like, I don't need that. I'm an adult, okay? Take your spoon and throw it on the ground.
On the ground, yeah. That's right. That's absolutely
Part
right.
of your system.
All right, so Shooter's on 0, Callum Newman's on 2, and next we have El Phantasmo versus Hanare. They're from B Block. Our Never Champ is here. He's looking gnarly.
Can't keep his tongue in his mouth, though. You know?
Yeah. Well, you know.
Just leave it in your mouth, you know?
No, I'm going to allow it. The champ can do what he wants.
Okay.
He's like the president, unofficial president of this podcast. So you can just imagine how pissed off I was when Tamatonga had 4 fucking reigns for the goddamn title, and only what? How many defenses?
He
1.
Can't hurt you anymore, Luke.
He can't. He can't.
It's over now.
He's gone. Yes. All right. So let's do it. It's ELP versus Hanare. ELP's like doing all this mopey shit, and in the ring, like everybody leaves me, and I'm just like, yeah, dude. We've wanted that for ages. Now be a singles. Well, we have, but oh man, I just want to stress that like ELP's demeanor, that's purely character and has no bearing on what he does in the ring on either of these 2 nights, because he's fucking fantastic. He bumps like a crazy man, and Ares is doing shoulder tackles on him at the start because he gives no shits. In fact, he looks at El Phantasmo with contempt. He's like, "You ain't never as fuck. You ain't got any manner either. Like, bitch, like, come on. This is nothing." ELP, though, he takes Hanare out with a great looking tope, then a senton and a moonsault onto Hanare for 2. Fucking hell. Hanare's lip gets split open by El Phantasmo during a strike exchange. And Hanare gets the upper hand in that, but he has a look on his face. He touches his face like this. He just kind of has this look. It's like, oh, you want to play, cunt? All right. It's like that, is it? Hanare gives El Phantasmo this one elbow to the face, and I just exclaim, fuck. I'm like, this is my Never champion, everybody. I'm so happy. He's just beating pricks up. I love this. Hanare, it's so, you know, Hanare does it just to wake El Phantasmo up. And he does it also by saying, show me something. But no, high knee and a berserker bomb. But just look at El Phantasmo just selling. Like, it's just, I love it. And Hanare is just on point with all these moves as well. It's incredible. There's another awesome strike exchange where El Phantasmo he's like, fuck this. I'm taking my elbow pads off. It's on. And Hanare's like, all right, come on, motherfucker. And they both beat each other up. And then they both kick out at 1. So it's like ELP's like, all right, I'm waking it up. I'm waking up. And I'm waking up. And I'm like, don't wake up too much. I want my champion to win this. No offense. Any other time, I'm like, oh, yeah, I want El Phantasmo to rack up some wins.
He doesn't need to win. You know what I mean? Especially right now. That's not...
That's another thing for me. I want to see the new Never champion kind of establish himself.
Sure.
and all that. He's max. He's got a worse fucking tournament story than Doki, who could make it to 6 points, but no further. Lara's already equaled his record of 4 points in 2 nights. Everything else is a bonus. Plus, this is his first match, and going by the match he has on the next night, he's pretty much just going to do this tournament by having like 9 never open style matches.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. He's embodying this big time. But ELP does make me nervous waking up because he hits sudden death, the fucking burning hammer, and he does his fucking Thunder Kiss 69 splash. But no, our never champion, he kicks the fuck out. Let's see. I must have had the commentary up to about here before I changed. No, I know what I did. I like the finish and stuff of this match, so I was like, I'll listen to the last little bit in English because they don't call it a Samoan drop; they call it a Maori drop. I think that was Walker who did that.
Okay,
yeah,
makes more sense. I like it. You know,
yeah.
Walker, Texas Stewart was also. I guess I did too. I think I still was listening to the English at this point because I have a note about him rooting for ELP.
It's like we were mad, but we hadn't quite made the transition yet.
So I hadn't lifted my arm to touch the remote. That's probably more accurately. I'm like,
is it? So the Maori drop. There's a rampage for 2. Then a liver shot. Streets of Ragey. And Hinare is on 2 points. El Phantasmo on 0. This is great.
Yeah. I really like the part where like he was, there was a lot of PKs to ELP's back that looked like, wow. And Hinare's like, I'm not like going to do it softly. I'm just going to kick the shit out of you. It was really cool.
Dude, I have the never title. I have to do this.
Yeah. Those guys on the podcast are watching, so
the stiff boys want me to kick you harder.
So I meant us, but
yeah, of course.
But they did that flying so Hinare is starting to fire up. He goes for a flying headbutt, but ELP kicks him in the head with sudden death. That was cool, man. There was some cool shit in there.
Oh yeah.
Now, where is this going with ELP? Like he had Giotto out with him, but he's kind of like, yeah, I don't like you, Giotto. He's kind of doing that.
He's doing a 7-year-old tantrum.
Right, pretty much. And like, I don't like this now, but I like where it could be going. I think we'll get a little bit more clue on, night 2. So anyway, this next match is our first kind of experimental match of the the G1 Climax, and it's totally different than anything else. It's Great Khan versus Zack Sabre Jr. Now, like, I think we've seen this before and been like, they did like a bunch of crazy mat wrestling, and it was more that kind of match. This match is different. It's like, it's experimental, like I said. I really love it. Great Khan has this like thing where he's like, you're not allowed in the ring. This is my ring. So he just dumps Zack Sabre Jr. to the outside, and they go out there and have an amateur match in the aisle. All right. Then Great Khan dumps Zack Sabre Jr. into the crowd, and they have a strike battle at the crowd. And these are all like little mini genre matches within one match. It's kind of interesting. So
yeah.
Zack Sabre Jr. almost gets counted out, and he's selling his ribs, and Great Khan attacks with power moves right and left when they get back in the ring. So Zack Sabre Jr. does a roll-through drop kick, which is pretty awesome, and we get some realistic-looking throws and monkey flips from both guys while they both have this wrist control thing. So there's a whole section of the match where they have wrist control on each other, but they take turns on who's actually got it, you see.
Judo throw. Right. Dud. Judo throw. Dud. I'm like, oh.
It was awesome, man. And they looked
so good.
Without sandbagging each other, they made it look like they didn't want to go. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not. Oh, here I go. Like that kind of thing. So it was really cool, man. That went on for a while. Then we get the strike part of the match where they do all these big strikes. They're evenly matched here. And then a belly-to-belly for 2 from Great Khan. He's like, fuck this shit. I'm going to throw you around. So this is really cool. Zack Sabre Jr. gets him in a triangle and hooks his own heel to like make the triangle like hard, like tighten it up or whatever. I was like, I've never seen anybody do that. That was pretty cool, man. So power bomb with the claw from Great Khan, and that gets a 2. Great-O-Khan is acting gassed during most of the match too, like as part of his character, right? That's his thing now, is that he gets gassed out easy. So like after every power move, he's like, yeah, it's really fun. So he gets the claw on Zack Sabre Jr. from the front, goes for Eliminator, but no, DDT counter, Zack Driver! Zack Sabre Jr. gets the win. He's got 2 points. Great-O-Khan doesn't have any, but that match was different and really neat.
Yeah. By the way, Great-O-Khan, not only does he wear his little hat that you love, he breathes out smoke.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, this guy's really cool. Yeah. These guys just decide, like, just want to do some jazz. Yeah, all right. They went out and just fucking jammed for however long this fucking match was. Yeah.
Definitely swing if we're going jazz or modern jazz. Could have been modern jazz, but I think it would have made a little less sense if it was modern jazz. But really, like some hard swing, I think we're
good. I also feel like these two men managed to put 30 pounds of shit, or of amazing shit, in a 5-pound bag. They do fucking like, what are they doing out in the crowd? Why this is Zack Sabre Jr. match? Oh no, they're just going to do wrestling moves and shit on each other out there. Oh, all right. Then the takedowns look gnarly. You're right. There's the right amount of acting like no, and then just like, yeah, of course I'm not going to sandbag. It's a fucking wrestling match,
right?
Oh my god.
That's a good match.
Khan at one point just does a simple fireman's carry and a monkey flip, which just
that's
made
during
me
that
laugh.
wrist control thing when they keep, because they both do monkey flips and they look weird. Because it always looks weird when Zack Sabre Jr. leaves his feet. It just doesn't look like every other wrestler, right? So like when he's flipping around in the air, it's like and it's kind of weird, but it's in a way that's like he didn't want to do that.
No, he did not. I also feel like, because the last time they wrestled, this was one of the matches in a row that Zack Sabre Jr. had that ended in really sudden submissions, because they did worked apart and managed to snake it back around to that part, and it was just like tap tap tap. But that was the like an arm bar or something that time. So Great-O-Khan knows this, and he's trying to shut down that as much as he can. But this Zack Sabre Jr. has something different. Yeah, it's a Zack driver. So
you made that point not that long ago that they want to heat him up in a way where he has a finisher now, so that all the top guys aren't tapping out to Zack Sabre Jr. Right?
Exactly.
Because if he's going to win, you made that very astute observation a while ago, and it has proved to be true. So
yeah, he's racking up either more roll-up pin combination wins, because he's a technical wrestler. He can do a technical, flashy-looking pin and pin you for 3. And you're still like, yeah, he's the greatest technical wrestler in the world, even though he just didn't tap someone out. Yeah. And Zack Driver, pretty simple, effective. It's pretty good. Yeah.
Spin to it, too.
Yeah. I mean, like, you don't mind seeing him win, but I'm not sure the Japanese faithful would like to see Naito or the new guys or everyone just tapping out or verbally submitting every time. Yeah. So, yeah, I love that match. It's really good. It's different. And it's smack dab in the middle of this show as well. But next we've got, I actually really like this match as well. This is Hiroki Goto. Yeah, I said that. This is B-Block Action versus Jeff Cobb. And they're just going to have a mini Never match, because that's what you fucking do when you've got Hiroki Goto versus Jeff Cobb. Why pretend any different? God damn it.
It's like at the beginning of the match, Goto walks up. Goto is looking trim, by the way, and he's like spry, and he's moving around. He doesn't have any burger wrap on him, and you're like, what's going on here? And like right before the match, he walks up to Cobb and he starts talking shit. And I was like, is he saying let's have a Never match? Like, I'm pretty sure that's what he was saying, because that's what is good.
I was writing to you, my theory is, because he's good these 2 nights, Hiroki Goto, we're going to put him over. Good
speak for yourself.
Right? But I was saying to you, like, dudes, well, and they mentioned it, something like that. I've seen it around, like, this is the oldest guy in the tournament, something like that. Goto,
I think so.
Isn't he?
Maybe Naito, him or Naito.
Yeah. So and his Chaos buddies that are always in these tournaments, Ishii, Yoshihashi, some others, like they're not here. They're not in the tournament this year. If he doesn't fucking pull out a really good showing, hey, guess what? You might be doing the will I be in the tournament this year or not? Tournament before the
Yeah.
fucking thing next year, because there's a lot of fucking new hungry guys, and we're seeing them, well, over these 2 nights as well, being young and fucking hungry to put on awesome shit. So yeah, I don't know. Goto, you're right. He's looking extra trim.
Well,
Like he's won a
plus
few extra sauna competitions.
he got a new hat, a new sauna hat. He
That's
likes
right.
it a lot. But he also almost won the New Japan Cup. So there's a
Yeah.
little bit of that going on with him. He's like, I belong here, like that kind of thing. But he's also away from Yoshihashi. Coincidence?
Yeah.
Could be not a coincidence that he looks good when he's not around Yoshihashi.
Yoshi's not even here to fucking cheer him on.
He's hanging out with Yujiro, far away from
Oh,
the New Japan ring. So,
dude,
is that the nightmare blunt rotation? Is Yoshihashi and Yujiro?
Here's a movie I do to melt minds. It is a Steven Seagal action movie where the villains are the villainous duo of Yoshihashi and Yujiro Takahashi.
But your villains have to have charisma. It's like the most
Seagal
important
movie. No one in that movie has charisma.
Well, no, I think your villains always are crazy and just acting like chewing the scenery. Those are your good guys in the movie. Yoshihashi, because they are blank slate. They don't have to have charisma. It's all about, like a Die Hard. Come on, man.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. All right. So both men, they start with strikes. Of course, never match is amazing start. Goto even he rolls away from Cobb's moonsault, and you get a kind of like standoff thing. I'm like, wait, did Cobb just do this kind of standoffy thing? I'm like, I think they did. All right. Cool. There's a plancha by Goto. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Chill out. Oh, actually, don't chill out. It's the G1. No, go. Keep going.
The crowd reaction for the plancha was like, oh, okay. But Japanese commentary was like, oh my God. They were losing their mind. So that was
That's right. The crowd's like, respect. The commentator's like, we don't see him do that. Oh my God. Cobb does a great spinning wheel kick and goes for the bulldog like Goto does. And the crowd's like, boo. And I'm like, yay. Come on. He does this all the time. We get amazing lariats with the bulldog by Goto. So he gets he also gets his wheel kick and another bull. Sorry.
Jeff Cobb was doing those moves first, right?
He hits lariats. Goto hits lariats, but there's like a little bit of extra stank in each one because Cobb's like, yeah, come on, I'm fucking not falling down. So he just kind of has to go for it, and each one is just like, it's awesome. I loved it. I was like, yeah, Goto, get him down. I'm like, wait, that sentence just flew by in my head, and I got to unpack that. Yeah, Goto, get him down. Wow, G1 baby. He gets his wheel kick and bulldog. Goto's like, that's how you do it, motherfucker. Yoshi-Goroshi for 2. Goto goes for a sneaky pin now because like he got the Yoshi-Goroshi in, but that was lucky. Every other time he goes for a power move or something like Cobb is just like, nah, man, that's not working. So Goto gets the wonderful idea of like, maybe I can. Hey, I'm old. Tanner's old. Maybe I can do the sneaky pin thing. But he goes for a sneaky pin. 1, 2, whoa, kick out by Cobb. 1, 2, oh, kick out by Cobb. Next, then in Goto's mind, he's like, I'm getting closer and closer and closer.
Right.
In Jeff Cobb's mind, he's just like, I'm fucking sick of this amazing tour of the islands, deadlift power tour of the islands. 1, 2, 3, Goto's down. It's like, I'm bored of you trying to pin me. Pick up Goto. Slam. I win. Fucking hell. This is, I probably spoke about this match longer than the match actually goes for. It's about 7 minutes or something. I fucking liked it a lot.
Really? That was only 7 minutes. Seems like a lot happened in this match. Like, because the whole story of the match was Cobb steals Goto's moves. Goto's like, no, I do the moves that better, and then like Goto is like trying other shit and none of it works. So he can't get the lariat, and eventually he does his little misdirection play, and that's when he gets over on Cobb a little bit, gets the Yoshi-Goroshi, his heel kick spot, the bulldog, all that stuff, right? So, And then, at the very end, the finish was muscled him up for a vertical suplex, right? And then down into the fucking tour of the islands from there. So it was like a self-loading tour of the islands,
Oh,
Holy shit. That was unbelievable.
It was cool. It's like, it's funny to me because you're right. He's like, I need to cause some momentum here. So I need to hold him up first in a suplex position. Then I can go, ooh.
Rockabye Godo.
You are.
Totally he was fine. Already asleep halfway through the match. But he did a very good job. And Godo does have no points at this point, and Cobb has 2 now, though, right? So
that's definitely true.
This next match I was fascinated by because apparently Jake Lee is a frustrating character. He's also your cousin. So just gotta get that out of the way. But he is a frustrating wrestler for Noah fans or something like that because he's never as good as you think he's going to be and all this kind of shit. This was a perfect match to introduce him to the New Japan crowd because it's Sonata versus Jake Lee, and you think, oh, it's going to be like slow and long, and it's not. It's short and fast, and that's what it needs to be. So Jake Lee has joined the War Dogs, and he's quit Noah. I will never go back to the Noah. I am no longer good looking, So listen, I don't know if this is, I find this kind of amusing, and I guess it's gallows humor or something like that. But like Jake Lee, every time he comes up on the internet, like the number one comment will just be, I miss Alex Coughlin. So because people were like, that's the only reason this guy's in here, but that's not the reason, it's just a funny thing to me for some reason. So I miss Alex Coughlin too. I wish he was still around. Fuck cage matches, but
fucking imagine, because you just know, like if Gabe Kidd is in one block, Alex the android and Alex C would. I missed that gag. I love him. He'd be in the other block.
And they'd be wrecking shit together. But, this is allowing Gabe Kidd to kind of break out. We'll talk about it. But anyway, so Jake Lee gets no respect coming to the ring. None. Like silence, right? And this match might be really boring. That's what I'm worried about. So they do some holds, and Sonata breaks free. Choke slam for 2 out of nowhere, right? And he lines up, meaning he being Jake Lee, lines up for the Yakuza kick, but it's a dodge, and Sonata hits the magic screw, right? Now they're both fucked, and we're like a minute into the match, right? So moonsault for 2 from Sonata. Shining Wizard to the back of Jake Lee's head. He's going to make short work of this guy. He tries another, but reversal from Jake Lee. O'Connor roll. Sonata almost wins there. And then he's like, okay, welcome to New Japan. Welcome to my ring. It starts fucking flying all over the place, doing all kinds of shit, right? But Jake Lee catches him with a Yakuza kick. He just like dodges, instant boom, bang. Hits him, pin, Undertaker pin, actually. 1, 2, 3. And the crowd does not like this at all. They are silent. That no one's clapping. Maybe like 1 out of every like 150 people are clapping, but they're like doing a polite clap, and they're fucking mad. We also learn here that Jake Lee's new moniker is Smart Bastard Jake Lee. And so I was laughing about the crowd's reaction or non-reaction. Then I was laughing about Jake Lee's name. He has 2 points. Sonata has 0. Great match. I love that.
Yeah. By the way, I'm a little annoyed at you, Osaka crowd, because 2 things. 1, it's the opening night of the G1, and as Chris spoiled for us, anything can happen with the finishes. So there's that thing. Also, it's Osaka, where finishes like this happen all the time.
Everywhere.
What are you doing, crowd? Are you really that shocked that Jake Lee just pinned Sonata? I mean, it's a shocking moment because you didn't expect a finish to be that short and that kind of like that. But the actual win itself isn't shocking to me. I was like, yeah.
Maybe it's cliche.
This guy isn't Kato Kiyomiya. They actually want to put him over.
That's true. But maybe it's just cliche. If you're from Osaka, this is just cliche bullshit at this point. It's like, okay, you're not going to shock me. I'm from Osaka. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Luke, all right. Were you ready? And are you ready for Marty Asami's G1 Climax 34 debut?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I was going to say, is he in this match? Yep, that's my second sentence. It's it's jumpy reffingness. Yes, it is Yuya Uemura and David Finlay.
Versus David Finlay.
Yeah, Yuya Uemura versus David Finlay with Gato, and Finlay he gets Yuya off his feet once, and he's already like, no sweat for me. And it was that moment right there, like 2 seconds into the match, David Finlay doing this. I'm like, you're losing. Don't do that on night one, man. Don't do that on night one against a young boy, someone who's pretty fresh and new. You're losing. You're losing. And yeah, he does. There's a nice little moment. Yuya's hanging off the apron, and Finlay just pushes him into the rails. And then Finlay decides to spit in Yuya's face, which just pisses him off. Finlay smashes Yuya into the railing and then dumps him over. Oh my god! Then he spits at fans and stuff. So Finlay is like on fire today. He's getting all the boos. Finlay pulls Yuya through the fucking railing.
It's like
after he dumps him over, he spits at the fans. He busts in the boos like a good heel. And he grabs what because he's like on the other side, and just pulls him through it. Oh,
it's like a Canadian guardrail spot. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh man, I wish I wrote that now.
I'm glad crossing the border, you know.
Man, that's like that's a fucking Alaskan spot. Like, come on, man, because that's like the other border.
So Straits of Gibraltar spot.
Yeah, that's right.
Or Channel. Could be a Channel spot too. We don't know, you know.
I like that David Finlay, as he's beating up Yuya, assures us, I'm being nice. Which is nice. I like one thing I like about his arsenal though is his brutal looking Irish whips, which is nice. Yuya fires back with like fantastic arm drags and a drop kick. There's a splash in the corner and a bulldog by Yuya, a superplex by Finlay for 2, and Finlay says, "Fuck your back," as he fucks Yuya's back up. No. This isn't me saying he said that. No, he says that. Fuck your back, and then does a backbreaker on him. Man, if juniors did that every time they did this, when they wrestled each other and looked at each other's legs, like, and I had $1 for every time they did that, I would have lots of money.
Lots of dollary dues.
That's right.
You can afford to podcast full time. You know?
But I only want to watch New Japan. So if there's no New Japan, what the fuck am I doing for the rest of the fucking
nothing
full time?
Doctor Who?
Oh yeah. There you go. 60 years of that shit I won't run out. All right, cool. Where am I? Oh yes, superplex. Fuck your back. Then he spits at Hiromu for some reason.
He's on commentary, right?
So, yeah, Hiromu's on commentary on both nights, and for some reason, everyone's just walking past him, going like, "Hey, fuck you." Yeah, a lot of people. They're just walking past him, going, "Hey, you suck. Fuck you."
Hey. That's a good way to get heat, is to fucking fuck with Hiromu, right?
Yeah.
People don't like that. So
no, they do not. Yuya hits a fucking huge plancha that gets a replay. I'm like, it was pretty huge.
That was great.
Then Yuya hits a fucking amazing Uranagi as well. But a power bomb by Finlay for 2. Dominator for 2. But a bridging German for 2 by Yuya. They're just fucking moving the shit out of each other right now. Bridging Dragon for 2 by Yuya. God damn. The fucking bridges are always fucking beautiful too. Like, technique. His technique is fantastic. But, but you know, all right. After the bridging Dragon, hey, Finlay knows. He knows how to do it. It's my turn for a power move now. Rana by Yuya Uemura traps Finlay into a pin. 1, 2, 3. Yuya Uemura wins, and Finlay is on 0 points, and Yuya's on 2. I thought this was really cool. A lot of power moves, a lot of fucking gnarly looking shit. It's Finlay doing this. I know I said that at the start, but like I knew he was losing, but I still had a good time. Don't do that so early on the first night of the G1, dude. I know you're going to get your ass kicked, but I know you're getting pinned or something. Like,
this is step one in Finley's story that we'll talk about. There's a step two already that we've seen, and he has a little pattern going on as well. Here's some really cool shit in this match. It's male pattern, yes. I loved this match. I thought this match was fantastic, and I forgot all about Jake Lee, which was the point of this match. They're just like, go out there and kill it.
And now you get the Yuya win. Doesn't that cheer you up?
We just pissed off the whole crowd. So let's go make them happy. And that's what they did. There are some moves in this match that must be mentioned. For example, Yuya uses like a cactus clothesline. All right. But he doesn't go out. He stays in the ring and then like goes through the ropes and Canadian skins the cat.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he does.
I've never seen someone Canadian like skin the cat. I thought that was illegal in Canada, but apparently it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, doesn't he use the middle rope and then pushes his legs through the middle and the top ropes to get back into the ring?
Yeah. It was skin the cat through the ropes, cross the border. It was amazing. I love that. Also, Finley, when he started going for all those, power bombs, they were buckle bombs at one point, and they looked nasty. And like that move, I don't know about you, but it kind of like it looks either like it doesn't hurt at all, or it looks hurts. Like Sting's never going to wrestle again.
Every time I see that move now, all I can think about is Seth Rollins injuring Sting, and I'm just like, don't.
Well, and Finn Balor, same thing, right? Like, and there's been a few people get injured by the move, but it's not
and injured by Seth Rollins in general.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know what that says about him at all. You know what I mean? But anyway,
I know it's either one of those unlucky things that happens. I think
that's
because
more accurate.
It can happen. Yeah, because if he had a rep for it, like he wouldn't be like one of the toppest guys in the top company.
He's a tremendous wrestler. So anyway, you know who else is a tremendous wrestler? Is Evil. And he is going to wrestle Gabe Kidd. And listen, Luke, okay, this match, I love this. All right. Now, I will say that, like, I'm halfway through this match, and I'll talk about all the details. And I'm thinking this is a touchstone match that I will always go back to and always talk about, like, Taichi versus Ibushi, or Ibushi versus Ishii, or anything like that, right? It is for half the match. It kind of slows down a little bit towards the end, and I kind of wish it had just like ended much sooner, but we'll get into that. So, as soon as Gabe Kidd appears, I'm remembering his press conference, right? And he had gotten in Evil's face, declaring that, like, we forgot to mention that when Gabe showed up to the press conference, he assured everyone in Japanese that he was feeling good from 17 high balls. So, and he told Evil that House of Torture isn't real Bullet Club and that he's fake as fuck. And they're not real, like, dogs of war, bro.
By the way, I like that. House of Torture doesn't need to be affiliated with Bullet Club anymore because there's no COVID thing anymore. You don't need anything to make up numbers and stuff. House of Torture has its own numbers.
Yeah. Well, this made me wonder, will we get babyface Gabe Kidd? And we do immediately. Like, Evil Dick coming down the fucking aisle. They're like, oh, we're awesome. Gabe Kidd, giant dive just to start the match. Right? Well, not to start the match, to start the fight, right? So,
is that a Tope Suicida Kanemaru Gambit by Gabe Kidd?
Yeah, he did that too. How hot. So that's against the law, but I loved it. Osaka went nuts, right? And they were so loud for this match. So he dives on those guys, but the problem is they don't catch him. So he goes splat, and it's like, oh, man. But brainbuster to Dick Togo, and Gabe Kidd does a triangle moonsault, all right? He does the Abe spot to Evil. This is all, like, just happening, and Chumpy, of course, is objecting to all of this. He did a lot of yelling in the last match that we didn't talk about. He got all his shit in. Okay, no. Are you okay, Finley? He got all his shit in. Give up all that, right? This match, he is all up in this match in a way that makes me so happy. So he objects, of course. We get Duel of the Fates in the crowd. Chumpy's fucking pissed. The crowd chants Gabe Kidd's name, all right? And for a moment, he looks around and he kind of is like, man, this is, you see it, man. You like see him kind of look around and go like, fuck, this is great. Not in a, oh, I'm a madman, bro, in the way that like,
It's
wow,
like, holy
this is
shit,
happening for me. You
I
know
think
what I
they're
mean?
eating out of my hand.
Right.
Holy crap, this rules.
I
Yeah.
loved it. So Kid sets Evil in a chair and decides he's going to run to one end of the arena. The arena's huge, and he runs all the
Oh,
way
fuck
over,
yeah.
sprints, and then comes flying the other way. But guess what? Evil hits him with a chair, and we got nuclear heat for Evil. It's
Oh,
not just that they're
fucking
chanting
fall.
Kid's name. It is they hate Evil. And oh my god, this match is so cool because you got nuclear babyface heat and you got nuclear heel heat going on at the same time, and it's
That
good.
match hasn't even officially started yet, by the way, everyone. Chumpy's
So
yelling at them badly. Get the fuck back over the ring.
yeah,
Come on.
yeah. Evil pushes Chumpy down for good measure after hitting Gabe Kidd with the chair. Crowd boos that, and then he hits chair neck to a chorus of boos, and then Evil gets in the ring and demands that Chumpy start counting. So the bell finally rings, and everyone goes, "Oh!" It's just a great reaction. So Chumpy tries to count Gabe Kidd out, even though he saw chair neck. He was standing right there, but I guess, Evil's got him. So the fans get down with Gabe Kidd. This is an incredible moment. So Gabe Kidd's doing the stumble thing, trying to get to the ring, and fans have all had to get out of their chairs. So there's a bunch of them just standing there, and they're down on the ground, kneeling down, chanting with Gabe Kidd, "Come on, Gabe, come on." It's incredible. So I was blown away. And if this match could have ended right there, I would have been like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. You know what I mean? But Evil Dick, they team up for sneaky corner pad removal stuff. And oddly, they do it in the face red corner, which I thought was strange. Maybe that's just how it worked out. But usually they do that in the blue corner every fucking time, right?
Yeah.
But Evil chops Gabe Kidd, who wakes up and challenges Evil. Eye rake, which is really funny because Evil's like, "Oh yeah, you want me to?" So Gabe Kidd hits a headbutt and a lariat for a double down, and Evil screams as he's taking chops from Gabe Kidd. Because I'm not sitting here going to say, "Oh, Gabe Kidd's the greatest wrestler ever and he did everything in this match." No, Evil's the one bumping around like a maniac and selling things like he's being killed. It's tremendous. It works so well.
There's 2 stars in this match.
Yeah.
All right, 3 if you include Marty.
Evil then does something that I don't know if I agree with, but it was awesome. He does a really cool springboard curb stomp worthy of like Yota Tsuji. He's like, "Hey, wait a second. You're not supposed to do that." So I guess he's like, that guy's getting over. I'm going to get over too. So Fisherman Buster for 2, running lariat war. We got our never shit going on, and Evil wins this exchange. Gabe Kidd hits his like swinging lariat thing and goes for the rebound version where he twists around. Evil gets one of his own. So Gabe Kidd, he bites Evil, throws him across the ring with a Saito suplex, and Marty is like, "Come on, Evil. Come on, Evil." It's just really funny. So, and I thought to myself, these might be the last 4 words, or 3 words, I guess, that Marty ever says. Because Evil tries to bump Marty 4 times in a row and fails each time because Gabe Kidd knows all that shit. And Evil can't believe it. He like pushes Marty in the way, and Gabe Kidd just grabs him and was like, "Nah." And Evil's like, boom, his eyes get real big, and he can't believe it. Tries another way. We get the rebound lariat off the ropes, and Kidd's fired up. The crowd's barking. The entire crowd is barking at this point.
Yeah. Kidd's like, powers up. Rah! Then he goes, "Oh, oh." And the fucking whole crowd. So I'm like, oh my.
This continues tonight too as well. But so the crowd's barking. Dick Togo interferes. Gabe Kidd starts blasting Evil with punches, and he kind of like loses his mind. Marty loses his mind too. Gabe Kidd throws Marty out of the ring, and Marty like expertly goes through the ropes Canadian style, which I always think is funny. So low blow, magic killer from Evil Dick. Everything is evil. Evil wins. The crowd is so fucking pissed off. You think they don't like Jake Lee? Oh my god, they'd rather watch 20 Jake Lee matches than anything Evil's doing. They're so fucking mad. Evil has 2 points. Gabe Kidd has 0 after that performance.
I thought this match was awesome. I have no problem with the finish because now you want to see Gabe Kidd get some revenge the next time they fucking wrestle. Like, come on, man. I don't think it's just the evil effect is part of it, like because everyone wants to boo him anyway. But I also feel like everyone's kind of switched on to Gabe Kidd. Like, this guy's a star in the making. He's getting himself over. Like, he knows he doesn't have that kind of, in New Japan, he doesn't kind of have that, I guess, that safety of being, well, it's going to sound bad, but Japanese, like a Yota Tsuji or a Shooter Umino, where he's in that same class, but they don't talk about Gabe Kidd in that group, right?
Right.
So he's got to do something, and he's doing it. When he's out there, you're fucking watching Gabe Kidd. When he's not there, it's like that Poochie episode of Simpsons. You want to know where he is. He's making it work for him in a way that it might not have if he hadn't have just not come out of his shell. I feel like the shell's gone. He exploded out of that. The shell's obliterated into dust.
Yeah, the chips of the shell are on his shoulder, and they're gigantic, and that's the thing, is that his character in real life and his character kind of have that same thing. He's the classic wrestling heel that's himself dialed up to 11 or whatever, and it works so well, and it's fun to see him get the opportunity. I mean, we saw, I think there was a match in the World Tag League last year where him and Alex were faces, and he was doing dives and shit. And last year, I think that happened in the G1 as well. It's always fun to see Bullet Club versus Bullet Club. This was one of the best Bullet Club versus Bullet Club matches I've ever seen.
Yeah. It was fucking gnarly. I still want to fucking talk. Like, Gabe even does this kind of front slam thing I've kind of never seen before. I'm like, what the fuck was that? They don't even have a name for it, do they? Like,
I don't know.
Anyway, like, see, it sounds like I'm stalling, even though the next match is fucking amazing, because I just want to keep talking about Gabe Kidd and Evil. But let's do it. It is B block action again. It is a Yota Tsuji versus Konosuke Takeshita. I've been excited for this because this is a guy who there's a few wrestlers that have had this path in AEW where they're like, hey, this wrestler's from here. And then they kick ass, but then lose to an AEW guy. But by the time that match was finished, over the next few weeks, they're still losing to AEW guys. But you're just like saying, then like even the fans in the crowd are just like, but fuck the AEW guy. We want this guy to win. This happened with Willow. Willow was booked like this for a while too. They kind of had to stop that when she won the strong women's title for that very short time. But Konosuke kind of wrestled his way out of that spot big time because he's a fucking beast. And now, for the first time ever, I get to take notes on Konosuke Takeshita matches because it's on New Japan. And I'm so happy. And not only am I happy, I'm like, who's he fucking wrestling first? Oh, Yota Tsuji. Okay, well, this match is going to be incredible. All right, so both men's starting attack is like to use the other person's momentum to take them down. So they're playing defense pretty much. They're waiting for the other person to attack, and they've got their number. This amazing tope by Takeshita on Yota. Yota takes a gnarly looking railing bump on the throat. It's fucking huge senton by Takeshita as well.
Nasty.
It was nasty, right? Yota finally takes over with a corner face smash and hits some kind of twisting tope thing onto Takeshita. I'm not just going to jump over the ropes. I'm going to twist my body.
Yeah.
Dude, you're huge. How do you do it?
Corkscrew fucking tope or something like that. Guy's a maniac.
Why is he doing that? Oh, yeah, because it's the fucking G1. Yota brabs the shit out of Takeshita like an asshole. Takeshita tries to hop away from the grab, like on his arms like this.
Did you catch what Japanese commentary said when that happened? So they're like, push-up bra? That's what they said. Because he did the push-up bra thing, which was really funny, and that's exactly what they said. I was like, that was great.
Oh my goodness, that's good. There's another smash by Yota, but then we get like this gnarly looking brainbuster thing by Takeshita. Then Takeshita hits one of the best bridging German suplexes I've seen. Like, holy shit, that was amazing looking. There's a bit of a corner butts by the boys. One of them falls off the top, kind of hangs. I don't know. Maybe it was part of the drama or something, but They made it work. They kind of redid the spot, but they did it in a way that wasn't me going like, oh, they're just redoing the spot. No, they kept punching each other and jostling for position and just to get back up there. So even if it was a botch, they made it look like they were fighting the whole time for position to get back up there. And I was like, you know what? I'm allow that.
They had to redo it. It was like a huge
A
high
big part of
spot
the
in the
match.
match, and it's like they kind of had to do it. I wish they had like gotten to it a little later, maybe, but they like panicked and were like, "Oh, let's go fucking do it!" Oh, wait, we'll make it look good, you know?
Yeah.
Didn't
And
matter in the end, you know.
And it does look good. Yeah, in hindsight, you just be like, well, if that wasn't in there, no harm, no foul. But it does look awesome. There's a Gene Blast attempt, but no. There's a German, but Yoda, he's back on his feet. Poison Rana. A thrust by Takeshita. Then there's a thrust kick and a Falcon Arrow by Yoda. And from my fucking notes here, just say, from here on, it's bonkers. Because these guys are wrestling faster than my stubby little two fingers I type like this, everybody. 2 fingers. four. There you go. They're wrestling. They're doing cooler shit than my brain and fingers can process at the fucking time. They're just kicking each other's asses. It's fucking awesome. I'm on the edge of my seat. This is what I want from the 2 guys tonight from other companies. I got exactly what I wanted from both of them this night. I got a big man beatdown from Jake Lee, which is kind of, all right, I'm intrigued. Let's go. And then you got this with Takeshita where he's just fucking off the chain. Now, like, and Yoda's there for it. These 2 have what is effectively a never open style match. Some of the fucking strikes where they just punch each other in the face are just incredible looking. Takeshita has a way of punching someone where he just follows through with his full arm as well.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
So even if it doesn't hurt the guy, it looks like he just punched that guy's head off into the fucking crowd. Amazing shit like that. I just watch this match, everyone. It's really good. Yeah. Yoda Tsuji, great opponent for him as well. And it's just too much though. Not only like it's an even kind of never battle with like power moves and kicks and strikes, but in their own kind of style. This whole match until like the last minute where Takeshita just lands that one strike too many, and it's all him because he doesn't just win, he fucking wins. He just dominates in that last minute. So it's not like he only just squeaked that win by. It's just like, no, I took all of Yoda Tsuji's offense until he had no more offense to give, and I fucking move, put him away. Takeshita on 2 points. Yoda Tsuji on 0. Dude, I have to know. You must have seen some of his stuff already, but what do you think? You've seen him in Japan now of Takeshita.
Well, Luke, he reminds me of a certain wrestler. He reminds me of Tai Chi a little bit. So that tells you. I mean, high praise coming from me. But yeah, his kind of attitude and the way he approaches wrestling reminds me of Tai Chi a lot. I wasn't over the moon about this match as much as you were, but I liked it. I thought it was really good. His strikes are incredible. I'm ready to see what he can do. He can do a lot. And the finish was really cool. It was a Gene Blast, but Takeshita met him with a running knee in the air, knocked him out of the air, and that's when it was over. It's like Blue Thunder Bomb, Falcon Arrow, I guess is what his finish is. So he did that and won. I don't have a ton to say yet about him, and unfortunately, we don't get to see him wrestle on night 2. So yeah, I'm ready to kind of like get more in to see what he's doing. I was surprised that he beat Tsuji, and you know who else was surprised? Was the Osaka crowd. They were like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" They were so mad that they started remembering that Jake Lee match from earlier too. You remember when Jake Lee beat Sonata? Fuck, and they were
they remembered Evil as well.
They're so quiet.
It's as if they only want the LIJ guys to win. Then the main event happens, and I'm like, what do you want?
Yeah, interesting. Well, that was going to lead me to I did not know this match card. I didn't even look at it. We try not to do that. It's a lot more fun when you just don't know.
Yeah.
And so I had no idea what the main event was. And I had kind of figured it out probably by like the match before. And I was like,
Yeah.
so the main event, Shingo versus Naito? Holy shit. So they could piss this crowd off all they want because Shingo versus Naito's in the main event. You know, it's Naito versus his friend, his best, one of his biggest and more, you know, most popular friends. So, you know, I was
one
really
of the good
surprised,
ones.
you know. So it was really surprising to me that these two guys were in the main event. But as soon as they like the music hit, the crowd was just like stomping their feet and going nuts. So long entrances, of course, for both guys. You know, Naito in particular, and Shingo refuses to salute. Like Naito's like, "Okay, bro, you know, let's do this," and Shingo just, you know, just kind of walks over in the corner and keeps getting ready to wrestle. And the crowd's like, what?
Yeah, crowd lost their minds.
I couldn't believe it. So,
LIJ just needs to do stuff, and every Japanese crowd is like, ah!
Well, this one in particular, too.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, that's our first step into who's going to be who in this match, right? So, the chants for both guys are so loud. All right, it's insane, but I'm pretty sure Shingo gets the edge like significantly. You know, like the Takagi chants are just out of control, right? And the Naito
it's the underdog
fans
thing in New Japan, isn't it? Sometimes I feel like even though Naito's definitely more popular, they might give a few extra chance to the underdog dude because, hey, you're gonna need it, pal.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it's like, you know, Naito doesn't need our cheers tonight, but there are
Callum. You're getting Destinoed and you know it. Callum.
There's a lot of crossover, I'm sure, between these fans as well. So,
yeah.
But there are certain people that will not cheer for both, just one. So, anyway, at the beginning, Shingo does the whole thing where he's avoiding contact and like dodges Naito's lockups and shit, and the crowd loves this. They love it. They can't believe what they're seeing. So these guys pull each other's hair, you know, LIJ style, and do all kinds of fun reversals. There's a tranquilo, but no, fuck that. Shingo hits a senton on Naito while he's trying to do the tranquilo and knocks Naito to the floor. That's how hardcore that senton was, and how much these guys are bumping for each other. Hit a senton in the middle of the ring, and Naito went flopping onto the floor. So Shingo throws Naito all over the place into all the guardrails, and Naito's bumping really hard. There's a snap suplex on the floor, and Shingo hits the Liger pose right in front of Hiromu, and then just ignores Hiromu. Hiromu's like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And Shingo does that thing, just looks past him, you know, and just kind of keeps going.
Yeah. That's not Ishii. It's like an Ishii interacting with his crowd, his fan situation.
Yeah,
I love you, Ishii.
Or like when Okada had to wrestle a young lion. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of thing. He was being a dick. So anyway, that was fun. We get the Yukon Lariat with extra stank and a side suplex from Shingo. He does the discount double check. Boo! That's the. You know, he does that thing, which you have to watch that on YouTube to know what I'm talking about, or you just.
Oh yeah, the crowd fucking goes ape shit when they see that too.
I was booing him. That's bullshit. I don't like the discount double check. Period. I hate it when football players do it. It's upsetting to me, and I really hate it when wrestlers do it. So I was like, man, Shingo is pissing me off. Let's go, Naito. So
how dare you, sir? That's former never champ Shingo you're talking about.
Hey, it's not never champ now. So Shingo grinds Naito into the mat with holds. He does shitty kicks and like, oh man, they're both like, they get into a big strike war, but Naito finally lands his hip toss neck breaker and runs through some of his offense. There's a stalling neck breaker for 2 from him. Leg Nelson into the, rope break spot. And Naito can't figure out how to let go of the hold. And Rich is like, Naito, he's yelling at him like he's his son. It's really funny. So anyway, we get the folding power bomb from Shingo after a DDT for 2. Shingo loves the genre of music known as ska and lets us all know and Naito hits a bunch of moves because he is not a fan. So this match is losing me a little bit here, though, because this is the 10th match of the night, I think, and it's like I got up for this at 4 a.m. or whatever, so I was starting to kind of like waver, but it's very good. So we get big elbows from Naito, Esperanza, and Naito spits on Shingo for more elbows. He sets up a Super Rana, but Shingo hits a Super DVD instead, which is amazing. What are we doing? Naito's getting DVD'd off the top rope in this match. So.
Dude, that was fucking gnarly. Say, sometimes the people you want to bump for the most are your fucking buddies. And you don't, how often do you get a chance to do that? Yeah, you know?
Crowd knew. Yeah, they were right. So, pumping bomber and a made in Japan, but Naito kicks out at 2. Last of the Dragon is reversed into Destino for a double down, and Naito has blood on him from somewhere. Can't see where he's bleeding. So he hits a Super Rano and the Tornado DDT, and then they botch a Destino attempt, and it's like, oh. And this got me thinking a little bit. Now, I know I'm right in the middle calling all these moves in this match, but I started thinking about Naito and his current status as a wrestler, as far as what can he do now that he couldn't do before. And I've come to the conclusion that he's just like Tanahashi now. You know what I mean? His moves, sometimes they're going to look like shit, and sometimes it's not going to look that great, and he's going to be super slow, and he's not going to be the greatest wrestler in the world as far as move goes, but he's fucking Naito. So he's fine. And he may not wrestle until he's 100 years old, like Makabe and people like that. So we should enjoy him while we have him. So that was all going through my mind as I was watching them botch something simple. And I was like,
no, I agree. Yeah.
But Naito has
don't botch like that.
What's that?
Shingo don't botch like that.
No. And that's why it's, So Takagi driver for 2. Oh my God, he's trying to kill Naito. This is when the crowd starts to get on Naito's side, though. Big elbows and a last of the dragon. Shingo wins, all right? And Naito, like I say, he's moved into that stage of his career where he just can't hang physically like he used to. It's an interesting realization, but there's respect after the match. The crowd can't believe it that Shingo beat Naito. Shingo is celebrating like an asshole, and Naito's just kind of shocked, What did you think of this match, Luke?
Dude, I just got to see my favorite wrestler pin the champion. Are you serious? I know they're in the same team and all that. I don't know, but that's. I loved it because I thought Naito was winning for sure, and I'm okay with that. Shingo and Naito are just going to give me a good match, and I'm just going to love it. And I know Shingo's probably going to lose, but then I'm watching this match. I'm like, Shingo's fucking Naito up. Don't make me believe. Fuck off. Don't do that. Then I still believe. I'm like, fucking New Japan. Why do you... And that's why I love it. Because I'm like, this is where the match... This is it in my head. Boom. That's it. That nothing else can change that. And then they make you believe. And then sometimes they do the thing you knew they were going to anyway. And then other times like this, they have Shingo give Last of the Dragon to the fucking champion and pin him for 3. I lost my fucking mind. Yeah. Doki's the champ. Hanare's the champ. And Shingo just pinned the other champ and / best friend.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm on fucking cloud 9. I'm fucking happy as a clam.
Well, the crowd knows they've seen something special too, and that's kind of, they had their minds blown. But also, I'm looking at this. This show was tremendous. All right. Me and you both loved it. And I was watching it and I was like, holy shit, you're going to love this. The Gabe Kid versus Evil match, I think, was really special. And I think that was that, other than results, I think that was the most I'm going to remember that match. Now, the results on this night were so up and down. It made me wonder if people that the crowd would much more rather win will win on night 2. Because it's kind of the same crowd here, right? So I don't know. What'd you think of that show overall?
I thought it was fucking awesome. I was like, that's how you start a G1 right there. I was into it, start to finish. I don't think there was any matches that clunked for me, or anything like that. I had a good time with every match. And the one match I was like, what is this going to be? ended up being this like really intense, short, fun little match with Sonata Jake Lee. A match where I thought, okay, what another? What are we going to get here? Goto fucking was great.
Goto was great.
I'm saying that now, and I've been burying him more than you have lately.
I mean, but that just goes to show. I mean, this show, all the boys were ready to fucking give it all, you know. And so they like you said, they were all wrestling shows work the best when everyone's working together. Everyone from Abe ringing the bell to Chumpy in the ring to the fucking crowd to us at home to, you know, everyone that happens in the ring as well. And I thought this was a very successful pro wrestling show in general. Like when we talk about just that part of it, you know.
Yeah. I was pumped to watch more. Mind you, by the time, because I watched both shows on the same day, so by the time the second show's ending, I'm like, you know what, I'm ready to do something else. Not in that I'm sick of wrestling, but in terms of like, I've reached my daily level cap and exceeded it some of the amount of wrestling and I've been enjoying Collision lately, mostly because Jay White's on it a lot, and it's actually been pretty good. And I was like, man, I haven't even seen that yet. I'm watching tonight or something. There's no New Japan, because that's another thing. Like other wrestling shows will drop off during tourney season. Like, yeah.
Anyway. I mean, you know, how many more stank belts can he get? You know what I mean? What else?
That's right.
To do so.
Well, yeah, but here we are. We're in the same place. It is night 2. I'm going to do this. I'm going to start this show as well, Mr. Guy, because you didn't get to call the Hanari match. You should at least cover one match by our champion. That's my law, and I'm sticking to it until I forget.
Yeah. Plus, I was going to get if we switched, then I was going to get both gay kid matches, and that's not fair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've both got the same idea. All right, so we start off night 2 with A block. It is Callum Newman versus Sonata. Callum's on 2 points. Sonata's on 0. You know, Sonata and Callum, they lock up. But then, you know, Sonata gracefully backs off out of it, and almost gets fucking dived on. He manages to hit a magic killer with the railing, helping out on the outside. Magic screw. Whatever. It screws now. It doesn't kill. I guess people would rather get screwed than killed. All right, I'll give it to you. Thanks for allowing me to soundboard that.
The name of the move. I wasn't trying to make any kind of point about who's getting screwed or killed. So
Sonata, he hits a shining wizard. He goes for a moonsault. No, he lands on his feet, but he's kicked off his feet straight away by Cal. He kicks him in the fucking face. And what I really like is just this. I like the whole match, but this closing segment, one thing I can be really hard to do and master in New Japan, but once you do, I'm pretty sure you're going to be fucking set, is end of match move / reversal portions. You know, when like Ishii's a master at that kind of stuff. Shingo's great at it. Naito's goes without saying.
Everybody.
There's a lot of wrestlers that
even Goto can do that. You know.
Yeah.
Because he's been in a main event.
And I feel like there might be aspects of things that Callum does that you could say, yeah, it's a bit green here and there, but he's really clicking with those kind of end of match transition reversal kind of spots, even when he's on the receiving end of them and loses, because he gets caught in a dead fall by Sonata, and both men are on 2 points. But this was a really good match. It's really good because I'm on the Callum train, and I feel like we're seeing him progress, and I'm really into it. And seeing him wrestle top guys and have pretty solid matches and good matches with them makes me happy, because that's what you're supposed to do, man. You know, crush it against the top guys. Like you're in. Like, yeah, I like it.
Newman and Bolton got the first 2 matches yesterday on the first show, and they're doing the same thing here. They won the first 2 matches on the first show. Will they win the first 2 matches here? So far, not the case. I thought I was just mad at Cal Newman for doing that triangle moonsault to the outside, because it's like, dude, don't go to the outside. That like
It's true.
immediately fucking dragon, or a magic screw onto the floor, and then he's fucked, right? So it's
That's his
like,
character,
damn,
isn't it?
he wants to show off, he wants to do the high flippy stuff and everything, and that's good. But like, this is the G1, man, and you gotta like accentuate the positives, and so he's trying to try and do too much, and I mean the character in the wrestling character.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the dude, but anyway, and plus it just seemed to me that you don't think Sonata, that Newman getting that win, I mean, is he going to win anymore? There's like one guy we think he's going to beat, and that's Naito. I was really surprised that he beat Shota Umino, but that was so they could tell the story of these new guys won the matches, so
Yeah, it kind of would have sucked if both these two dudes who actually had to have a mini tournament to get into this tournament just bombed on their first night.
Yeah,
no, I totally get it. Yeah.
Well, but we got to bring their winning streak to an end,
Oh, yeah.
So that's just what happens here.
You got to rip that Band-Aid off too.
We have Hanare versus Boltin Oleg, and they go Never style, man, with big forearms and strikes to start. Boltin is bigger than Hanare, which is surprising to me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's kind of a little bit bigger, and there's shoulder tackles that Boltin hits Hanare so hard that he has to like roll out of the ring, So, Boltin gets the body sausage splash for 2. He tries to gut wrench Hanare and gets headbutted for his troubles. So Hanare starts kicking him Muay Thai style and lands one that is like dangerously close to his throat,
Dude.
Like, oh my God.
What the hell was that? Like, fucking ouch.
Oh, man. So Hanare hits hard strikes and headbutts throughout this match. Newman wants more, or not Newman. I'm sorry. I'm still in the Newman match because I'm thinking of him wanting kicks, but this was Boltin Oleg asking for more kicks. Bad idea. He does get a Vader bomb and gut wrenches Hanare after nearly killing them both on a power bomb move that went wrong. And that was scary, but they both landed safely, so it's fine. Boltin has poor timing a few times in this match, but it's not bad looking. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, it's fine. It's just like, it's fine tuning stuff.
He's a green dude in his first G1. I'm allowed.
Yeah. He has great timing on a big shotgun dropkick, and then he hits "You can't" for 2 big strikes right and left. Did that get you? That one got you?
Yeah.
And then just kind of out of nowhere, big headbutt, rampage tackle. Hanare wins. He was done playing with his food. Hanare's on 4 points. Boltin Oleg on 2.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think Callum Newman's going to beat Sonata, and lo and behold, he doesn't. I was like, Oleg, Hanare, well, not the Never champ. Come on. So one thing we haven't seen yet from Hanare is we've seen the hammerhead strike, but we haven't seen the point blank hammerhead strike. You know how he won the title where he hooked the arms? I want to see that at one point. Hook the arms, grab the wrist. But maybe he's saving that for a big match or something. Oh man, this is just great. Hanare's on a tear. I'm just loving this Never stuff. Oh, I'm so happy. Anyway, let's go to another match that makes me really fucking happy. I just want to talk about Hanare being the Never champ. But
what about Gabe Kidd? How about him?
Shit, dude. This is Gabe Kidd. Gabriel Kidd versus the Great O'Khan. Gabe beats up Young Boys on the way in. He also rags on Hiromu at some point as well.
He tries to get Hiromu to challenge him for his open weight strong title. He's like, it's an open weight title, mate. Why don't you get yourself to America? Oi.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Talk about a guy who's got an obsolete belt. There's not even a strong show anymore. Like what? But we still got the strong titles.
When he yells at Hiromu about it, I'm like, oh yeah, he's got that belt. That belt's kind of interesting all of a sudden.
Yeah. Suddenly,
the man is making the belt.
Yeah, that is true. So there's a brawl in the crowd, of course. Kidd, he wails on Great O'Khan in the ropes. Great O'Khan dumps his ass out in return. Hey, this is my fucking ring. Gabe takes one of the nastiest looking bowling bumps ever, because as he's thrown into the fucking chairs, his foot hooks on the railing, and the railing yanks off the other two parts of railing that are rejoined to the railing and just fucking go flying with him. And I'm like, holy shit. That's the kind of thing I'd do a replay from, but New Japan, they only allow like maybe 2 replays over 2 nights or something.
They're budgeted for 2 or 3 replays a show.
Yeah,
if you go over, it's like the luxury tax is ridiculous. So
yeah. If you do any more than that, the equipment will start taking over like they do in America. And you're fucked. I love that bowling ball bump. It was fucking nasty. So big respect there. Great Khan does his corner thing on Gabe Kidd. So he hooks one of Gabe Kidd's arms. He's doing chair submissions on Gabe Kidd, right, in the crowd too, like torturing him with the fucking chairs and shit. So he puts his arms through chairs and then puts his arms through other chairs, and then Gabe Kidd can't move, so Great Khan stands on the chairs, looks at the crowd, he's like,
that was incredible, man. That looks so
it's cool.
I was watching that and I'm like, man, they better do that right, because I mean, it looked like it was gonna fuck Gabe Kidd's arm up, like him putting the pressure on, but it was probably completely safe. That looked really cool, man.
Yep. It was an awesome visual, and he does it on the outside on chairs, so it's worse, more humiliating and painful. Man. So like come on, that's wrestling law, isn't it?
It's like 3x multiplier,
Yeah. So I call this they managed to fight back in the ring, by the way, but not for long, because there's a nasty Canadian suplex by Gabe, which is that move that you love. You have a better name for it, I think. I forget it.
Upset the apple cart, man. The apple cart, man. They fucking suplex each other over the ropes onto the fucking floor. It's amazing.
By the way, in 2 matches, Great Khan has done 2 completely different kinds of match. And I think he's been an absolute fucking badass in both, even though, spoiler alert, he's a fucking loser. I don't care. I think, you know what I think his spot is? I think he's new Ishii, and I'm okay with that. Maybe not in terms of like moveset or something like that, but he's the guy that you watch and he's awesome. They could heat him up any time, but he doesn't have a handsome man face. So he might not be pushed as much as Shoot or Yasuji.
He's got a title though,
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And he's doing fun shit with it. So yeah, no, but
he is revitalizing the rural. That's his mission.
Dude, we got Great Khan with titles. We got fucking Doki, Hanare.
Yeah. All the others too.
I'm enjoying War Juniors with their run as well. Oh man, what are you doing in Japan? You make me happy. Oh yeah, they're doing its job. So yeah, they dump each other out of the ring again. These guys just don't want to they just want to hurt each other on the outside. That's it. And after that, like upsetting the apple cart, they're fighting in the crowd. They're fighting here and there and everywhere. Next thing you know, they hear 19. They run in. They run in and now they're trading German suplexes. But then Great Khan does his one, but he puts the claw on the face and does it. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Lariat for one by Gabe Kidd. Angle slam on Gabe. Fucking hell. By Great Khan. Gabe kills Great Khan with a gnarly looking lariat for the 3. Like, it looked like a gunshot, sort of. Like, it looked like someone had fired Gabe Kidd's arm, just the arm, out of a cannon. It was like Kojima looked at that and was like, nice. Like, that was a gnarly looking lariat. And besides, they'd beat the shit out of each other, these two. Like and throwing each other out, like they were fucked. So by the time that last lariat hits, like Great Khan's already done the Gattaca thing of swimming out too far with that, and he's swimming power back home, and he's fucked 1, 2, 3. Simple lariat's enough to take him out. It's fucking awesome. I love this match. Sorry. Yes.
I like the finish where it was, they're running the ropes and it was dodge 1, dodge 2, and then he hits that spinning lariat. So he had wound up.
That's it.
3 times off the ropes, and so I mean. He starts barking after the match, and the crowd starts barking back. Ooh.
I know he's in a heel faction, but he's like a heel the same way Suzuki is, right? And then
he's getting over, man. And I really like it. So this match was fun, and it's interesting how Great Khan's kind of like his his strategy, which has been terrible. He needs to like work on it, but it's been entertaining. Is to just dump
In
guys
terms
out
of
of the
match
ring.
quality, though, it's been amazing. Yeah.
But his like strategy is like, well, we're not going to get in the ring. I'm going to dump you out. That's what he did to Zack Sabre Jr. too. So interesting. We'll see if that continues to not work out for him. But I thought that was a lot of fun. They did the apple cart, made me really happy. So what? Kids on 4. Great Okan's got 0.
That's right.
But,
Great Khan's never winning this tournament, by the
No.
way. So
he's never winning anything. So except for the King of Pro Wrestling, so maybe the tag title again. But
I think he's got a never reign in him at some point.
I hope so. But
I think
anyway, I have no hope at this point. But anyway, Ren Narita versus ELP. So let's talk about ELP a little bit. What are we doing with ELP? I genuinely care and want to know. So like, whatever they're doing is working, right? But the whole Mopin thing, it's like, okay, so what could happen? Could he turn heel? And if he were to turn heel, where would he go? Right? I mean, back to Bullet Club, I'd like that because I think he'd be awesome there. And I kind of prefer that character of his. But they've already done that. So I don't think they're going to do that. Could he get his own thing? That's like, he could join United Empire and fit right in, but they're not really heels. He could... I want him to get his own thing, kind of,
Yeah. I feel like some of his progress in New Japan has been stalled either by COVID happening or just being stuck in tags and stuff and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, you and I have been craving some kind of singles run in the heavies division that he hasn't quite, like, they've got enough titles now. They can't put him in a fucking feud for one of the fucking things.
Some title. Well, that's what I'm thinking about while I'm watching this match. Is like, what are we doing here? So, and I like what they're doing. I'm not saying it. What are we doing here? I'm just like, okay, I want to know what happens next.
Because if anyone can make this work, it's El Phantasmo, who's made stories work. And this
match is an amazing match, all right? So Ren attacks and ELP just starts chopping him and doing cool moves. And ELP gets big chance for hitting a really nice plancha, but he doesn't care. He just is kind of like, okay, you guys are cheering me, but I'm just here to win, and Jotto's over there and I'm sad. So he hits a dive and then starts to kind of feel it a little bit. So he goes for the big moonsault. Ren dodges it and then starts beating the shit out of ELP via fuck your leg offense, right? He uses the push-up bra, but Jotto, he's about to, but Jotto grabs it and starts arguing with Kenta Sato. But that's a distraction so that Ren could use a chair on ELP's leg because everything has at least 2 steps, if not more. So ELP fights back with strikes and a very, very nice suplex. He tries to kip up, but his leg is too ouchy, you see. And this is where the match gets amazing. So ELP does the thing. Like the thing that is like the coolest babyface thing you can do is when you're missing like a limb and you just do all your moves anyway. And you just figure out a way to use it, to not use that limb. So that's what he does. He does one-legged versions of most of his cool moves. Every once in a while, he'll use both legs, but so that they both don't die. But for the most part, it's one-legged everything, right? So, and he even does one-legged tune the band up, right? He's about to get the big kick. But Ren attacks and goes right to the leg again with a knee bar and a single leg Brab.
What a fucking son of a bitch. There's a lot of Brabs this tournament these 2 nights. Have you noticed that?
Oh, they're communicating to each other with the Brabs. Yes. We get a really great rope break spot here, though, and then a bouye spot. And Ren asks for a high five like an asshole. He's like, "Oh, you miss your boys? Well, you can be my boy."
Dude, that was fucking fantastic.
Crowd's living and dying by this too. ELP gets all mad and just stomps a mud hole, right? And so, he even gets the push-up bra, all right? And is he going to turn heel? Right? Is it, but no, Jotto wants to know and begs him not to turn heel. Jotto wins the argument. ELP handstands out of a double cross. Really bad camera angle on that. That would have looked cool if we could see it from a different spot, but the camera was like, what's the way that's going to make this look the least good? How about that one? And that's the one they chose. I don't know why. But then Ren hits his guillotine knee, and Ren goes to the top rope. Why are you going to the top rope, Ren? Oh, it's so ELP can chase him up there and hit a top rope super Rana. That's why.
Yeah. Duh.
Oh man, Thunder Kiss 420-69, but Ren kicks out, and this match is tremendous, dude. Right here, I'm just like, I'm loving this. So ref bump, chop block, double cross. Ren Narita wins, and it was a real bad camera angle on the finish too, where we didn't even see ELP. It's like they that move only happened twice in the match, and they got the wrong camera angle on both times, and they were different camera angles. So that's incredible.
Same cameraman.
That was the America creeping up and taking over, equipment from America. But anyway, that match had some incredible stuff. The finish sucked the wind out of the building a little bit. They really wanted ELP to win, but he is too busy selling. He's too busy selling to the back like a fucking pro to worry about that. Ren Narita on 2 points, ELP on 0.
Yep. Yeah. It's just ELP finding his smile. And you wrote to me, I hope he finds a way. I'm paraphrasing it, but you hope he finds a way out of his Logan Paul look as well. So,
yeah, that's like we got to get rid of this Logan Paul thing, right?
It's terrible.
Right. So like that, whatever he does, I hope it's totally different. I would love ELP to be a masked wrestler, but like a masked wrestler that just wears it sometimes, like I don't know, Hiromu's like that now, just sometimes I wear a mask, I like that.
All right. Yeah, we're just on the ELP train, even when he's depressed and upset.
Choo choo.
Yeah, maybe that's why he's depressed and upset, because we won't leave him alone. No, next we've got A block action. It is Jake Lee on 2 points versus Evil. Also on 2 points. Too sweet? Nah, but it's Jake Lee who attacks. Jake Lee also sucks up to Kenta Sato of all refs. I'm like, fuck you, Jake Lee.
He thought it was chumpy. He couldn't tell. He's way up there. How's he supposed to tell?
Yeah, it's very tall. Yeah. So whilst he's being like, I will kiss your ass, referee, Evil's like, I'm taking the corner pad off, dickhead. So he does. He sends Lee into the railing. Evil Mike chokes Jake Lee and just trash talks like he always does. There's some cheating so Evil can get the upper hand as well. It's because that's the only way it's going to happen, because Jake Lee's like this big dude is just going to kick his ass. So Evil needs to cheat. There's a Fisherman Buster and a Darkness Scorpion by Evil. Man, he's feeling fucking ambitious. Jake Lee makes it to the ropes, and then Jake Lee brabs Evil. And I'm really happy when Togo goes and rings the bell. I'm like, yeah, that was definitely Togo, and I'm very happy. And Jake Lee's like, I'm in Noah. What's the gimmick? Oh, I didn't win?
Sho Makato did that, I'm pretty sure. Just like when someone grabbed Jake Lee's leg at some point, Dick Togo pointed, it was Sho Makato.
That's right.
Like, what?
Ref would have to be stupid. Kenta Sato would be stupid to be like, did you do that, Sho Makato? No. I think you did. Oh, my goodness. Jake Lee, he sends Evil into the ref. But he gets garroted by Dick Togo. But Jake Lee, he takes it off Togo, shoves him away. He garrots Evil, and I'm like, no, fuck you. Then he makes me laugh a little bit because he's this really giant, tall man doing an Eddie Guerrero spot. And I just start laughing. I'm like, you fucking 10'5", and you're getting choked out by a tiny Dick Togo. And of course he's going to turn that around, but he starts choking Evil. The ref wakes up, and fucking Jake Lee just lays down. My neck, it's really hurt. Oh, I'm fucked. And
I thought that was going to be the end.
So did I.
You got me. I was like,
any other wrestlers, and I'm like, I would keep going, but it makes you nervous when it's like, wait, that's Evil. Ref could actually end the match right here.
Sato was he was like, okay, here we go. Like he was about to ring him up, man.
Oh my God. Oh, it made me laugh. So, mission accomplished, everybody. There's a huge choke slam for 2. I love it when that's probably why it's a tall person move, because I like it. I like seeing
Dude,
people up high in choke slams and sent down.
that got
It's
me too, man. That I thought for sure that was the end right there.
right. Now, earlier on in the match, I think Jake Lee's doing whoop ass shit, and Evil's like, in the eyes. Like, it looked ouchy too. Like, you made it look pretty good. Like, you already got in the eye. So up in the choke slam, is this where he gets him in the eye again on like just before he goes crashing down? Because Jake Lee's fucking blinded.
Well,
And
it's because Evil had untied the turnbuckle pad earlier in the match, and this is
yeah,
where the turnbuckle comes in.
yeah,
That we had all forgotten about.
yeah, that's right. Dude, why isn't Ishimori in House of Torture? Because that's what he does every match.
Yeah, I mean,
But anyway, and Kenta does that too. Like, all right, fine. No, they got to be in War Dogs. War Dogs. No
everybody
offense.
does German suplexes. Are they not allowed to do that too? Or
Shut up. I want everyone to do German suplexes. Don't say that.
see, I think everyone should take the turnbuckle pad off. I think Tanahashi should start doing it. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, because Yano does it too. I mean, it's a very popular thing.
Yeah, but Yano's like not a heel, and he wants to hug that thing, like rather than hit people. He's protecting it.
Oh,
Doesn't want
is
people
he?
to get slammed and
Sure.
back buckle bombed onto it. But so Jake Lee, he's fucking blinded and shit. Kenta Sato goes to check on him as well to be like, "Hey, dude, are you all right?" And if it was like, I don't know much about Jake Lee to know if he's really hurt or not. All I know is he's in Bullet Club, so I don't believe him, even no matter how long they hold it, because I don't know him well enough or seen him well enough to be like, did he really get hurt? Now I'm just like, all right, he's milking this. Kenta Sato's checking on him, fine. But Jake Lee, he's sent into the fucking corner because he goes for the face break with the exposed, he's got the exposed buckle. Oh no, that's how they get him. Dodge out of the fucking finisher. Exposed steel. Powder to the fucking sore eye. Everything is evil. And evil wins. He's on 4 fucking points. I don't think the crowd had a reaction for anything that happened in this match because they don't know what to fucking do. They know they want to boo evil, but Jake Lee's from fucking Noah and he's joined Bulldog, so they don't like him either. The crowd is a mix of and silence.
They cheer a few things that are funny. Like the Shomakato reveal, that was really funny. And, the fact that anytime somebody got over on somebody else in a funny way, which happened quite a few times, they were laughing for that and cheered for that, but they didn't do a thing in this match where one of them was a babyface.
No,
they just, they're both just being assholes. So
it might have been the impossible situation of like, Jake Lee thinking like, there's nothing I can do to make them cheer for you, Evil, and Evil's like, same.
Well, they don't want that,
No, they don't want that either. Yeah,
not in this case, But anyway, that match was fun. I wish it had ended in see, this is a problem with this match. Is that the Sonata versus Jake Lee match was so quick that nothing went wrong, right? This match went long, and there were a few problems. For example, there was one part where they're just running the ropes, sorta, and they just, what are we doing next? I don't know. You want to stand here for a second and kind of just bend over? Yeah, let's do that. And I mean, they just that's not cool. Can't do that.
That's Jake Lee, right? Because I find Evil to be one of the smoothest, kind of slickest wrestlers out there. If something goes wrong or not according to plan, he's quick with all he has to do. Quick eye poke or eye rake or stomp on the foot or something. Either that or he can just bust out some technical shit because it's fucking evil.
Yeah. Well, there was a few problems, but I mean, it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. I just want shorter Jake Lee matches. So, but anyway, next week we have another good one that, Choppy's not making his debut, but he's here to add value to this matchup. You already bought the ticket. They're going to add value to the card by putting Chumpy on this match. So it's Yuya Uemura versus Goto. All right. And at first it's like standard fare. And then Marty Asami just wants all the attention, and Yuya is like chopping Goto in the corner. He's having fun because that's a blast, I'm sure. You know what I mean? Just chopping the shit out of Goto, especially motivated Goto who's actually selling it. So he doesn't want
I'd
to
pay
stop.
$50 to chop Goto.
Well, yeah, maybe. But so he's chopping the shit out of Goto, and Marty gets all mad and physically restrains Yuya, right? So Goto returns the favor, but Marty only yells at Goto and doesn't physically grab him. What the fuck are we doing, Marty? Whose side are you on?
Who is number 2?
That's right. So anyway, Goto, he turns into a massive prick and pulls hair and puts a brab on Yuya.
What
and
was that? Holy crap, what a prick.
Marty has to ask the young man, give up. He has to. He don't want to, but he has to do it. So fancy arm drags and a drop kick from Yuya for a double down. They fight to the top rope, and Marty yells at both of them. And Yushi Hiroshi for 2 for a double down, or just for a double down, excuse me. Big chop out, reverse GTR, and a monster lariat from Goto. And he gets the GTW for 2. There's a big series of reversals back and forth, and Yuya catches a GTR attempt and backslides Goto for a very, very close near fall, but immediately follows up with a deadbolt suplex. He pins Goto's stupid ass right there in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. Yuya has 4 points. Goto has 0. Goose egg.
Do we like Goto so far in the G1? Yes. Has he also made us happy by losing both times? Also, yes. This was a fucking great match. This was Yuya taking all sorts of gnarly punishment from Hiroki Goto and being able to persevere and kick his ass. Dude, what the most surprising spot for me this whole match was Goto grabbing the hair like he's Yano and just yanking him down. I'm like, you cocky little bitch.
He's sneaking that shit in. He did it in the first match too. A little bit of sneaky stuff. So
yeah, is he
it.
transitioning into sneaky older man?
He's going to join in the new faction with ELP.
Win smarter. No, come on, man. Look, every faction has to have at least one dud, unless you're just 5 guys.
Man, who's the dud in GBH? Oh,
Makabe.
But isn't he? Oh,
yeah. Well,
there's two Genettis in the tag team.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. By the way, just to mention, Naito versus Shingo was also a battle of former Never champions because Naito's the second Never champ. Everyone, I did have to look that up earlier, but anyway, it's
that's definitely relevant.
Yeah. Well, it's relevant to the next match because one of them.
Hey, transition.
That's it. Segues. It is Shooter Umino versus Shingo Takagi. So, how do I want this match to start? With them both wailing on each other? Yeah, but they start in the corner. Shooter takes him in the corner straight away and starts beating him up, and Shingo's like, "All right, let's go." But so Shingo takes control and he eats a drop kick. But the Shooter, the poor dude, he eats the apron. Both of them have this kind of gnarly apron bump in them in this match for some reason. They just want to take the apron in the most scary way possible because that's what Shooter does in the early portion of this match, courtesy of Shingo. And then Shingo was like, that didn't look nasty, anywhere near nasty enough, even though it did, and sends him into the fucking railing. I'm like, how?
Shota scraped the ropes on the way down, so
he
didn't land like a normal bump. He landed all weird, and we all know the back is a problem. So Shingo's like, guess what?
Yeah. And there's a moment a little bit later on in the match, too, where Shooter gets to hit a gnarly-looking DDT. Shooter gets to hit a gnarly-looking DDT on Shingo onto the apron, except Shingo takes that properly, but it still looked gnarly. There was no Shooter just had didn't his feet get tripped just a little bit on the way down, and it kind of twisted how he moved the rest of the way down.
Just caught the rope, So.
Yeah. So it was gnarly shit, and then he obviously wasn't hurt because the match just continued like nothing happened. So that's pretty good. There's a top rope drop kick and an exploder on Shingo for 2, which is really cool. And then there's Why did I write that? Yeah, I wrote that note twice. Awesome. But Shingo,
Gotta
but
make sure.
after the landing though, Shingo he attacks first with a fucking with a lariat, and Shooter is able to hit a tornado DDT, but we get a Made in Japan for 2. No, by the way, before we get that, Shingo does a torture rack in this match. Did you see that?
Yeah.
The fucking. I know you might have marked out for that being
That
a
was so
Luger fan,
funny.
and I like seeing the torture rack too. But yeah, but he lets it go for some reason. That's so Shooter can hit a tornado DDT. Yeah, that's it. A Made in Japan, and that's when this match gets kind of very bonkers as both men go into super fast transitional mode. Death Rider, no. Master of the Dragon, I'm going to hit you with a lariat. No, you're going to get hit now. Up for 1. All this kind of stuff. It's fucking awesome. And you know what's awesome? More awesome about this? Because Shingo's the kind of guy who could lose 20 matches or win 20 matches, and the 21st match, I'm like, I have no idea who's winning this. That's I don't know if he does. There's nothing any wrestler can do. He just to get that aura. He just has it for me. So I'm watching this, and I love these transitions, and I love what they're doing because I'm sitting there going like, I don't mind. I mean, Shingo's one of my favorite wrestlers. So like, cool, sure, I want him to win, but it'd be pretty cool if Shooter beats him, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking cool.
It's a big win for Shooter.
Yeah. And I'm like, Shingo's had enough big wins, even though like I'm always happy. And he just beat the champ. So like I'm all right with this. So yeah, Shooter manages to get the Death Rider on, and both men, Shingo and Shooter, are on 2 points. I really like it. That was a never match, as far as I'm concerned. Like these two beat the shit out of each other. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Strong style main event, heavyweight style. You know, it was interesting too because Shingo was completely asshole Shingo, you know, the whole match, and he was being a dick and like
top form.
At one point, he like is trying to do the superplex, and Shota Umino reverses it, and Shingo bitches at him for reversing it, and the crowd like is like, they love it. I think it's so funny.
How dare you?
Because he was trying to do a superplex, and he's like, "Fuck you, bro." So I thought that was fun. Both guys tied up at 2 now, and so we're missing a match on this night. The match that should be happening tonight is Jeff Cobb versus Takeshita. So, which by the way, when the Japanese people say it, they say Takeshita. When people in English say it, they say Takeshita. So I think we're just going to do both because I don't know which is right. But anyway,
we'll both settle on one eventually. It was Dookie for ages.
Yeah, we'll see.
And Dowkey.
And somebody, I don't know. I mean, everybody says it differently. It's like the Ishii or Ishii. It's like that. So anyway, but I was so it was supposed to be Jeff Cobb versus Takeshita, but Takeshita was on DDT Peter Pan, which I don't think these shows were too close to each other, but they may have taken a few of the fans away from this show because it was not nearly as full on night 2 as it was night 1, and the crowd was not nearly as out of control. But this main event is like a marquee matchup in New Japan, in particular in the G1. It's Naito versus Zack Sabre Jr., a match we always want to see, right? So, this is not the main event. My bad. This is the we still have the main event. My bad. So, but this is a match that happens before it. And
you know why this isn't the main event? Because they're not going to send the fucking crowd home on both nights with this particular finish happening twice in a row.
Yeah, so Zack Sabre Jr. puts the salute up and gets spit on from Naito, and there's almost a roll-up finish right at the start. By the way, Fujita out with Zack Sabre Jr.
Yep.
Appreciate it. They tease a bunch of quick finishes, and Zack Sabre Jr. is going with a fuck your neck strategy. And I thought to myself, I wonder if that'll blow up in his face at one point, because Naito also doesn't like necks. So we get a tarantula-style neck hold, almost Canadian, if you will, from Zack Sabre Jr., and they go back and forth, destroying each other's necks in more and more terrible ways. There's a PKs from Zack Sabre Jr., and he tries the Zack Driver, which is countered into a Destino for a double down. That was a cool spot. So I think we've seen that before from them. So more reversals and a desperation Sakajiraiva for another double down. So they've each hit their finisher, but couldn't, close the deal. Then we get a bunch of very, very close and scary near falls. It's like a flurry of them, if you will. And some of them are scary because they roll through and just drop right down almost on their heads. And it's like going in a way that like is not smooth, but it's not bad. It's like scary and cool. So the Euro clutch is in there at one point for 2, which Zack Sabre Jr. beat Naito at, it wasn't at Jingu Stadium. Was it at Jingu Stadium? No, Naito won that match, but he beat someone with that clutch.
Yeah.
Anyway, but he beat Naito with it at 1.2. But anyway, Zack Sabre Jr. gets the O'Connor roll for the win. All right. Right there at the end. After all that shit, he immediately grabs the title and just runs up to the crowd, like the hard cam. He runs up to the hard cam and puts it in the hard cam. And it's like, I'm the champion. That match went really fast. This whole night for me was going really fast. I couldn't believe it was going so fast. But he celebrates in the crowd. So Naito has 0 points, has lost 2 matches in a row. Zack Sabre Jr.'s won 2, and he's on 4 points.
Yeah, and this time he beat the champion in the G1 without saying, I'm just going to beat the champion. Who cares? That's what heel Zack Sabre Jr. would say, and then he'd lose to the champion in the G1. So is this the first time he's pinned the IWGP or defeated one in the G1?
I feel like, did he beat Okada? How did he he's had a couple title shots, right? He won the New Japan Cup twice. So I know he's gotten 2 title shots from that. I don't know. This might be the first time he's ever. Oh no, he beat Naito in the G1. Well, Naito wasn't the champion.
Yeah. See, there you go.
This is why we need Chris or John Schmanchma.
Yeah, we just gave him shit earlier. Now we need him.
Well, we don't really need him.
Oh yeah, like even using all his stats and stuff feels like a bit like work to me. And I'm like, I do notes. That's enough.
Yeah. We don't want to. I don't like editing. I don't like posting. I like doing this part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the rest of it does feel like work.
The only time this podcast ever felt like work is when we did a 4 Best of the Juniors episode, like 4 Best of the Junior shows we had to do right in one episode, and we didn't press record, and then we had to do it again.
That's happened more than once. So I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah,
just,
but
that one was soul crushing. Yes.
Because it was fucking 40 matches we just had a great time talking about, and now we have to sound like we're having a great time talking about it again. I am stalling because if you can start us off with this match, I'd be very happy because this whole show started at 3. So by the time this match is on, I'm like, I'm eating my dinner. Thank you.
Yeah, you had to give me the food report. I'm chewing my food. I'm using a fork.
I'm digesting it as we speak.
So I might make coffee later. But
do you want an update?
This is the real main event, not the fake one that I was talking about earlier that I just made up like I'm Chris Charlton. But anyway, it's Tsuji versus Jeff Cobb, and this is a great matchup. So
loved it.
Tsuji, he fucks. Wait, what is this? Is it Tsuji versus Finley, right?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. It says Cobb because I was thinking of Cobb versus Takeshita, which is the match it's not supposed to be. Anyway, it's Tsuji versus Finley. So Tsuji fucks Finley up at the start, gets the big babyface shine. He hits a dive and even has time to fuck with Gato on the outside. And then Tsuji grabs Finley for a rope break. And then Finley finally dodges in the corner, drops Tsuji face first on the corner as well to take over on offense. And then he beats Tsuji up all over the place and fucks him up. And, Tsuji comes back with a backbreaker. So, he's going for that thing. And they settle into a nice, main event back and forth rhythm. I like it. It's very good. I like Finley's matches so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've been very good and the results have been kind of fun, So
who's he wrestled now? He wrestled Yu Uemura. Now he's wrestling Tsuji.
Lost.
Hey, here's another way to find a good niche for yourself in New Japan. Have good matches with your up and coming top guys, company's top guys.
Put these guys over, yeah.
Yeah, and you're gonna have fucking feuds and matches and tours out the arse. I reckon. Come on. Finley knows
man.
what's up.
And Tsuji's like, the idea is Tsuji's trying to hit that double stomp. That's how he wants to finish this match. And he tries it at the beginning, but Finley knocks him off the ropes, and he has to jump down and gets drop kicked on the floor. So anyway, Tsuji gets back in at 19 and gets destroyed with the Dominator for 2. Finley says he is going to hit 10 power bombs. He does not. No. I was disappointed, really. I wanted to see 10 power bombs.
I kind of like the intensity of Mr. Finley. Mr. Finley has a moveset of a guy the size of a Jeff Cobb, but he's I'm not saying he's a small guy. He's not, but he doesn't have like the classic big man muscle definition that you might have, but he has this kind of intensity and extra stank he puts in him, so it makes him like even something simple as an Irish whip or just a power bomb, how he just folds them in half and just goes, yeah, and thud. Like, even though he's not and Dominators, like, come on, man. People who do Dominators are usually like twice as wide as you and twice as tall as you, aren't they, Mr. Finley? But he manages to get them on because he's got this like War Dogs intensity kind of thing. It fucking works, man. Like, this is like, and I feel like that's a really good part of his character, that he has all this fucking strength, but it's like it's hidden away on there. He's like the opposite of the Kingpin from Spider-Man and Daredevil. Kingpin's like this big fat guy, but everyone thinks he's a big fat guy, but that's all muscle. So as soon as he punches you, you're fucked. Finley's the opposite of that because he looks like a pretty slim, slender looking man, but
he's slender, man.
But it's all fucking. He's got it all here, man, and he wants to pick you up and slam you down. You're fucking going. It's great. It's really cool shit.
Am I more like the guy from the comic book or Finley?
Which one do you like more?
I don't know. Which one's going to make me look better? That's really the key thing here, right?
Finley. Yeah.
Okay, then yes.
Have you seen the Kingpin from the comic books?
Of course.
Imagine Vincent D'Onofrio, who did play the Kingpin, was twice the weight. Mm-hmm. That's what the Kingpin looks like in the comics.
Yeah, in the comics, he looks like a fucking giant square, like the biggest square you've ever seen. With a little tiny face and little arms, but he fucks people up. So anyway, that's comic books. But so let's see here. Where are we at? Okay, Tsuji had tried that double stomp again, right? But it gets dodged. But there's also something else that happens here that's interesting. So in the Takeshita match, Tsuji had tried the Gene Blaster, the spear, and got fucking kneed out of the air. This time, Finley tries to spear Tsuji, and Tsuji knees him out of the air, which I thought was pretty cool, man. He gets the Orange Crush for 2, and he wants to blast Finley right in his Finley
big
jeans.
Time.
Yeah. But
the blue balls for it.
Okay. Finley catches the spear, though, and gets into oblivion for 2. So they have to do a bunch of reversals, and Finley gets 3 power bombs in a row, but collapses from exhaustion. There's a spinning lariat from Finley, big strikes back and forth from with Finley getting the better of the 2. Surprise Gene Blast. Tsuji is like the overcoming babyface. He finally hits the double stomp thing, vanquishes the enemy. He has 2 points. Finley has 0 and has lost to both of the Musketeer guys so far that he's faced,
I'm not worried. Like, Naito just lost his first 2. Do you think he's going to lose many more matches this whole tournament? Maybe one more, max, and then maybe another one towards the end, Naito? That's it? Like, he's about to really fight with a real sword, Mr. Naito. And same with Finley. Do you think he's going to lose too many more matches after this? This is what they do. See, I've been trained now. Wrestler I like or whatever has losing streak at start of tournament. Where? I'm like, yeah, but they like to do that to make you feel like this guy's a giant loser, and then all of a sudden they're in the fucking finals of the tournament, and you're just like, how the fuck did that happen? Oh yeah, they didn't lose anything else. It's like, how did Wato get here? Because he was silently just fucking racking up wins that whole time, right? So yeah. I don't know. I don't see Finley losing too many more matches, but you got to give these young boys some big wins against some stars. Like, you have to. Man, Yuji's on 4, though. He's fucking and Yoda. I'm loving it. So yeah, well, now that we've finished the first 2 nights, Mr. Guy, this is a question you usually ask me, so I'm stealing your shit. What have you thought of the first 2 nights at the G1 Climax? 34!
I liked them. I had fun. I got up early for both of them. The first night was on at 4 in the morning, and then less than 24 hours later, the next night was on at 1 a.m. for me. So I feel weird right now, but like not in a bad way yet. So I'm feeling good physically. I enjoyed the matches. I think that first night was kind of magical in a way. Night 2 was like, it had a magic quality too, but it was different. And it was like the amount of time that went by in a blink of an eye. That was wild. So surprising how fast it went by. I'm enjoying the G1 so far. What about you, Luke? How are you enjoying it? Nights 1 and 2 of the G1 here on the Never Open podcast.
I remember my first G1. It was 2017. Night 1. A block. Half is preview matches. Half is, all right, I guess that's the format. And then B block, then A block, then B block, then B block. That. What did we get on these 2 nights? We got 4 nights worth of that G1 in 2 nights, baby. Nothing but fucking slamming action, baby. Yeah, so I fucking loved it. I got 4 nights worth of G1 and 2. I like these condensed things a little bit. Less emphasis on these on the previews with the tournaments. I don't mind the odd one if they only want to do, they like the Best of Super Juniors did like 2 or 3 preview block nights, right? Like half previews, half blocks. I don't mind 1 or 2 of those, but I feel like I'm in that zone now where I'm a little spoiled and I kind of want to tune in and go like, hey, let's do a night of fucking wrestling that matters. Let's go 10 matches. Let's roll. Let's do it.
They're not going to do that every night because they'll kill the boys.
But, yeah. I don't want them to do it every night, but right. Yeah. But I do like that format a lot more.
And we did look at the schedule, and it's like 2 nights in a row, 3 nights in a row, 2 nights in a row, 3 nights in a row. That's kind of how it works out. I think it's only a few times it does 3 nights in a row, but it does a lot of 2 nights, 1 break, 1 day off, 2 nights, 1 day off, stuff like that. So it's going to be similar to Best of Super Juniors a little bit, where we have time to record, and it's not going to be like, if you get behind by a day, you're fucked, and you have to just like shut the world out for 24 hours. So.
Yeah. It pained me not having to look at the Tweety because, like, I don't know. I like looking at it. ADHD, what can I say?
I like looking at it.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. And I couldn't because, like, I didn't want the first night of the G1 to be spoiled. So, I'm an adult, I guess, sometimes. Man, oh, yeah, we don't do diaries and shit. Oh.
We've already talked for like 2 hours, so.
We have.
Or there. I don't know how
lucky we started early then. Hey,
So the next show is on the 23rd, and that is going to have Jeff Cobb versus Takeshita, the match that I was talking about earlier. Cal Newman versus Zack Sabre Jr., Shingo versus Great O'Khan. That'll be good. Shota Umino versus Gabe Kidd. All right. Now we're talking Sonata versus Evil, his former partner, and Naito versus Jake Lee. So that'll be an interesting night. With only 6 matches, you got to think there's a couple previews. And if that's the case, will we see Doki back?
I hope so, because more Doki is good. But if the champ wants to fucking chill out for a bit, let the champ chill out.
Yeah, I know. We'll see Hanma, right? And and people like that. Yeah. But I sure would like to see Doki back because I want to know who he's going to feud with too. So
yeah, see, that's the thing, and that's one of my favorite things. That's one of my biggest things going forward in this G1. It's not who's winning it to face Naito at the Dome. No, who's beating who's going to be that? Hinare is probably going to lose more than 1 match, but who's going to be the one dude who pins Hinare and is like, we're having a never match, motherfucker. Who's going to be like, that's what I want to fucking know right now.
We want the stories.
Yeah. That's it. That's me every time someone defends or retains or steals the never title, right? As soon as that happens, I'm like, who's next?
Plus, I'm interested in the ELP thing too. I'm interested in a lot of what's going on here. Jake Lee's been fine so far. Gabe Kidd's transformation here a little bit to something different is interesting as well. So there's a lot going on.
And Zack Sabre Jr. one experimental match and then another match with Naito where those two always do callbacks to their previous matches. Like I'm gonna beat you right now. Like Naito did that one time that pissed me off. He goes for that nearly every time sometimes in these matches now. Because like, I got you once, Zack Sabre Jr. I can do it again. And Zack's like, nah, I'm never falling for that again, you fucking asshole.
Maybe we didn't make the point, but Zack Sabre Jr. beat Naito at his own game. It fucked your neck, too. So, you know what I mean? Which the Michinoku driver is like a neck thing, right? I mean, like, it is pretty cool for him.
Yeah. Jeff Cobb is in. He's sadly we've only seen one of his matches, but Jeff Cobb tournament season is always like a sight to behold.
I don't know why. Next,
he's good all year round, but if you put him at the Dome and in the G1, specifically those two things, he's going to have like insane. I don't know, for some reason those two things just make Cobb like the best.
He had a whole like spiel on his backstage comments about some new member of United Empire that like I guess TJP brought in that I don't know what that is, but he was acting like he's like, well, I didn't vote for him, he's like, you don't vote for kings. It was like that scene, where he's like, I didn't vote for this guy. I didn't get any approval from me for some new guy coming in. And he started kind of acting like he's in charge a little bit, which was interesting.
Yeah. He couldn't even qualify for this tournament. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
That's fair.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's a long one, but it's the start of the G1. We're fucking excited. Oh, man. It's the most wonderful time of the year. As so's the beer, but that's the Super Juniors. But yes, in who do we want to trust? In President Evil, we trust.